Look at us. Who would have thought?
Star Wars Celebration. Are
DJ
you
Elliott.
ready?
God, that's funny.
How you
But
doing,
also
young
sad.
man? Here, have some Pringles.
No,
Oh, not this.
not the Pringles, not like this.
What's going on, guys? We are just not together in Anaheim anymore, but we were, and this is episode number 68 of Hyperspace.
So
I'm
close.
so close.
Ah.
Wah! But, ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and we are. Are we recharged? Are we just
Maybe.
sulking because we're not? It's not the fun times anymore. I don't know, but you know what? We did have fun times, and we're going to talk about it. There's a lot that's gone through. We are already halfway through Obi-Wan Kenobi. We have to cover all that amongst many other things. Joining us today, we have Evan.
This is gonna be a jam-packed episode. We have all of the chaos from Star Wars Celebration, seeing you guys again, all the movie news we did not get, all the TV show news that we did get. There's tons of news, tons of crazy experiences. And then we had Kenobi. We were there at the premiere, worldwide premiere.
Red
That's
carpet.
the first.
Red carpet, baby.
Yes,
There actually was.
black carpet, green carpet. It was a red carpet, a real red carpet, and it was cool. It was amazing.
With the stars. But
With
yes,
the
also
stars,
Carson
yeah.
is here.
I am here, and yeah, I'm super excited to talk about all this because we were just had no emotional capacity to actually talk about it beyond our days at Celebration, because by the time we got to dinner, we're like, fuck, man, I'm tired. Give me this. Where the fuck is our food? Like, we need IHOP. We need, like, something to recharge
IHOP.
I went
because...
to IHOP 3 times on this trip.
And I'll do it again.
And I'll do it again.
But yeah, someone just asked, what was it like being in the room? Pretty electric, because if you didn't know, it was also a lot of the cast and crew's family was there, because it was their first like cast and crew family screening as well. So it was weird because they all walked in and were like, hold up, and then they had a whole middle section just for the cast and crew, and so everyone was trying to like hold their phones up and take pictures. And then Deborah's up on stage. Deborah and Ewan went on stage to introduce the show, and then they're like, this is really our first screening too, so it was really special. And I think the best part was when little Leia came out on stage.
Oh,
She
after
gave
the fact.
everybody a hug. It was great.
Oh, she was awesome.
What's up, Ben?
Heck yeah, we
So,
did.
He's back.
We had a great time, man.
Speaking of these many different things that happened there, just gonna plug real quick. I have the audience reactions up with the vlog footage in it. So if you guys want to go check that out, it's popping off. It's really cool.
Yeah.
And
Do we
yes,
put it right here to link? No.
won this literally didn't win, but yeah, I got this Pringles for Obi-Wan that apparently isn't going to be sold on shelves, and so I've still not opened it.
Yeah.
Did
that's
any
the
of our
other
friends
crazy
get
thing.
the Kellogg's shit, the cereal box?
I don't know.
Did Sean get that? Maybe.
Joe, there was like security up the wazoo. Think like Ewan walks out and there's 4 guards. You know, they weren't like signing. They had separate autograph and photo times throughout the weekend. At least some of them did.
Yeah.
But this was very strictly. They watched it with us, but there was very much their own guarded section. God damn it, Ben.
Does that mean you've watched Kenobi, Ben?
Yeah, we will talk about Kenobi. So have you not watched? Have you watched it? Yeah. But I mean, you could take pictures of the actors when they're on stage. Like I took a picture of Deborah and them. Yeah, the ones you pay for.
We met Kelly Marie Tran. That was awesome.
I pulled my sleuth pocket cam footage, and it's unusable. there's nothing. There's nothing.
We did meet a bunch of people last Celebration. We met Hayden
Yeah.
last Celebration. Paul
That
Bettany,
pocket cam footage should be in the vlog day one.
Billy. Who else? Billy D. Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Ahmed
Peter
Best.
Did you say Peter Mayhew?
Peter Mayhew. Yeah, dude, that was literally like 2 weeks before he unfortunately passed away too.
Yeah.
A lot of people at 2019.
He did a thing. He did a thing.
He did a thing.
But did you watch the first episode of Tales of the Jedi? I think not, sir.
One of those people.
Not possible.
I know.
Yeah, literally not. But we're gonna be going through. Let's
go through it.
Let's go through day one, because then that'll lead us to our first initial
Day one. It feels day one Seattle.
Queens.
It was. It really
Last
was.
of Us Part 2.
Oh God. Tuesday we landed. Survivor.
So I'm at the airport. No.
Wait. All right, my bad.
You saw all the hidden footage. No.
We actually didn't get into a lot of it.
The only ones that had like hidden footage were just Mando or stuff.
All of them. Everything we missed.
Everything we didn't get into, there was like hidden footage for.
But let's
Yeah.
let's talk about that. Day one, a mess.
Yeah.
Oh man,
We were so close though.
horror stories.
Were we close for this one?
Not all of them.
Not at all, boy. No.
I don't think so.
This was. We were trying to get. Nobody knew how to get into this thing. I'm not even talking about a panel. I'm just talking about the actual convention.
Now I remember. So yeah,
we walk in, and Evan immediately goes to the guy, and he's like, "Hey, this is the way to get into where we're going, right?" And he's like, "You'll get in."
Yeah, for sure, 100%. You'll get in. I'm like, okay, cool. This guy looks like a trustworthy dude. Sure.
Little did we know.
Little did we know, a rule for these conventions: volunteers, they know jack shit. They don't know anything, which isn't a problem for them. It's just like they get paid to be the guy or the girl in line. You don't get to. They don't know anything like above that, beyond that. So they didn't know anything. I was talking about like, do we know if we're going into the celebration stage? Because on Thursday was the Lucasfilm celebration showcase, where they're showcasing, updating Mandalorian, Ahsoka, basically all the upcoming TV shows and shit. And as it turns out, Indiana Jones as well. So we're trying to get into that because we did not get into the lottery for that. So we're waiting in Hall E, which is just like a zone for people just to get into the
main.
convention.
It turns out it's the main queuing hall.
Yeah,
not even.
It was just to get into the show floor, main convention, not
Exactly.
the rooms where the panels or the streaming panels are going to be.
We wanted to be where the room where it happened, and we were not even close.
Not at all, Aaron.
So we get gestured out. We go up the escalator. We get escorted out into like the main show floor.
And meanwhile, we thought we were going up to the panel line. We're like, oh
Yeah, like, oh, we're in. Let's go. Yay! And
then we're going up, and we're like, TIE fighter. Oh no! And so we were just like, okay, you know what? Probably not getting it. Live stream stage. Let's go. It helped us before. My second most viewed video on the channel, baby.
First, this place is so big we can't even find stairs. Like I'm
Right.
like, where are the stairs? Where? Walk entire thing, just keep going. Finally, get out onto somewhere where there's an escalator.
Yeah, because at first, we were at the show floor stage and we wanted to watch it like live, but the guy kept saying, the DJ kept saying like,
we'll
be with you guys at 12:30.
12:30.
We're here at 9 a.m.
and we're here at
So keep in mind, they're not even
10:40.
streaming it. They weren't even streaming it locally down to the like where you guys saw the interviews on the stream. Like that was all open, but like they weren't streaming locally those panels.
Yeah, that's
so
what
annoying.
we were in the open area, but they kept saying 12:30. Right now it's 10:40, and the celebration stage
we're
starts
all
at 11.
we're all grouped together, and we're all one by one realizing this isn't happening.
This isn't happening.
We're not going to see anything. They're not even going to show the panel. Oh God, no! Let's just start walking up to the stream room. Let's try this late.
There's two streaming rooms at Celebration this Anaheim. They had the Twin Sun stage and they had the Galaxy stage. We're like, okay, let's try and find some stairs, like Carden said. Just trying to find an exit to this big fucking whole Celebration show floor.
I can barely find room E for my poster, man. There's so much ground to cover.
It was just ridiculous. And then eventually, we get to the Twin Sun stage, and the line is famously known as capped.
Capped.
Your cap is capped, sir.
And we can't get in. It's like we couldn't. I even asked, like, can we just stand in the back of the room? You're like, no standing allowed. So like, oh fuck. So then we didn't get into the Twin Suns or the Galaxy stage. Those were the streaming rooms. We didn't get into any of those. And by then it's like 11:10.
Oh, but
the
who
thing
did
is starting.
get in? Who did get in?
I wonder who did get in. Yeah.
Because I understand Edgar was the only one who won the panel, so
Yeah,
he
our
was
friend
chill.
Edgar. Yeah.
Josh somehow slipped through the cracks, and then apparently they didn't even scan Edgar's pass. And guess who got it? But Mr. Sean himself.
Yeah.
And he got into every panel this convention.
I know.
I don't know how. I don't know what black magic he's using.
Yeah, he was like in those like neck breaker steves. Like he was in the way back.
The first one of our group to break off. We were like, "You're not getting in, dude. It's impossible." And he got in.
And I feel like even if I went with him, even if I made the like in hindsight decision to go with him, I still wouldn't have got in because I don't have the QR code.
Because I think initially Arjun went with him, but he didn't get in.
He didn't get in, yeah. So there were some people were really stingy with QR codes, some weren't. Because like I had my brother come in with me, and I'm like, oh yeah, he's like my guest. He's like, okay, cool. Just went along with it for a different panel. But
Evan, is Jalen available by chance?
No, he's playing Overwatch.
Because him telling the line cutting stories would be so funny. But I'll tell it as best I can when we get there.
I wish I saw it. What was I doing? I was like looking around somewhere else. I didn't see any of that happen.
But all right, so yeah, we couldn't get in, and of course it's like the biggest penalty because they're announcing all this stuff. Every star's there. John Williams is there. Like fuck again, I've missed this.
Yeah, but first they were talking about Andor. We were on the floor, and the Andor trailer dropped.
Yeah, and everyone was like, "Oh, it dropped," and we were about to watch it. And I'm like, "Wait." Good.
Got it. Good.
Even on this device, it looked amazing. I was so ready. Tony Gilroy, baby. We're coming out of those Vanity Fair articles
King
like,
Gilroy.
this is the show to root for. And it totally looks anything different like what we've seen so far out of
this ain't the
TV era.
Yeah, so I guess we can talk about the Andor trailer real quick. That was a fantastic trailer. Beautiful trailer.
I did not see it. I did not see it in all its glory till I got home.
Same.
Right.
Yeah, I had it like up on the PlayStation and everything when I got home. But I love when trailers use like the sound from the setting as like the sound of the trailer.
As the beat of the trailer.
As the beat of the trailer. I'm a sucker for that, and I love it. And it felt so. I don't know. This is Star Wars felt so lived in, and you can tell. I hate to be a stickler for like visuals, but you can tell like this is not filmed, at least all of it, in the volume. I'm not saying the volume doesn't have its special like properties and uses because like a lot of shows are gonna be using that now. But it was just so cool to see like all these big wide open shots, like the shot of them at the lake, seeing the falling cargo ship going down. Like this looks really cool. I loved this trailer. We see Mon Mothma, like everybody's watching, and it's like you see her not wearing white; she's wearing like this beautiful orange dress.
You feel the really pressure of the world, like all the politics going on. You feel that immediately. And who else is in this trailer?
Stellan Skarsgård, we see him in all his glory as well. He's supposed to be a major player as well. And then it was just really cool seeing the Senate building. Seeing Coruscant basically. This is our first time seeing Coruscant live action post Revenge of the Sith. I think so. Yeah.
Until at the premiere of Kenobi, we'll get that.
Minus the whole like special edition Return of the Jedi stuff like that. But yeah, this was really cool. Just seeing like inside the Senate building. That's kind of stuff we've been excited about ever since the show was conceived. Because we're like, if you have Mon Mothma and Bail in this show, we have to finally see the politics of this era, which could be very, very cool.
Enough lightsabers,
right?
Talk to me.
Talk to me.
Talk to me, baby. Wow. That should be the name of our podcast whenever we do Andor reviews. Talk to me. Episode 1. No. But yeah, the trailer just looked very cool. From the color, the sound, Cassie and Tina back was really cool.
It's funny because like a lot of the shots you look at, and you're just like, you're not even processing that it's traditional Star Wars because there's so much like new like costume design and settings, like aside from the random like stormtrooper here and there, or then when you do see like the Senate stuff, you would just think like, wow, this is like a really like it's A24 film borderline. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, I was getting like Northman vibes from it from that beginning part. But yeah, they did confirm that like this season, there's 2 seasons confirmed, at least 2 seasons, or I think at most 2 seasons, because they said Season 2 is going to be leading into the beginning of Rogue One, probably when Cassian's on that planet and kills that dude. Excuse me.
Hope they bring him back. They put up his character, just
Bring him back.
Yeah,
You're done.
Credits, yeah. But they confirmed 2 seasons. K2SO is not in the first season.
Which is like the oldest quote we have.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, but
But yeah, it was just really cool seeing, hearing about Cassian being back on stage during the celebration stage. And he's just so happy to be back. And he said, like, they can't kill me off because it hasn't happened yet.
I love that quote.
So that's awesome.
It's great.
So yeah, we're just super excited for Andor. We finally got a firm release date, August 31st, 2022. So this is coming out. This will be going from August 31st up until I think November. And then it'll be 2 months away from Mando.
Yeah, now we've learned the Bad Batch will also be simultaneously airing over this.
So at least half of the Andor episodes will be mixed in with Bad Batch. In which, once again, Disney, I plead, do Wednesday and Friday releases. Why do they ditch the Friday releases?
Actually,
why?
When did they say Bad Batch is coming out now?
September 28th?
20.
Yeah. If I remember correctly.
If I do remember myself.
Yeah.
So August 31st is a Wednesday.
28th is also a Wednesday, Carson. I double checked this.
No.
I double checked this.
No.
Not like this.
Not like this.
And guess what's also airing in August? She-Hulk.
Lord of the Rings starts
Lord of the
airing.
Rings. But
at least Miss Marvel right now.
At least Lord of the Rings is airing on Fridays, presumably because Amazon airs their shows on Fridays.
Yeah.
Amazon does their shows on Fridays. HBO does their show on Sundays. So at least I'm good on the Friday and Sundays. It's just that Wednesday is going to be packed, especially with Survivor and Big Brother on Wednesdays. Fuck.
Oh no.
However, will I survive?
No. I watched this man firsthand. Watched the finale of Survivor, and let me tell you.
How was it, Nathan?
It was intense.
I had to capture it. It was beautiful.
Did you record me?
I did. You didn't see?
He was invested, man.
Wow, I guess I did.
You're like walking around like, oh my god.
Oh no!
He had to win that bet against his dad.
There. I know I won. Yeah, we had to talk about it too. He was like, "I'm not happy about the winner." I'm like, "Fuck you! I have to win the bet." No, I'm just gonna love you. Though.
It's a couple moments I sat in a mess where you're just like, "What?"
Oh jeez. And I'm like, "Wait, maybe he did record me." But anyways, so that was Andor. What happened after? Oh, they had Ewan and Hayden come out, but not to review anything during that Thursday panel. Just to say, like, everybody in here gets to come back later tonight for the Obi-Wan premiere. That was a thing.
Which they were giving out wristbands for, which you didn't need proof that you went to that panel. You could just like walk up some random like, I need a wristband, and they'll give it to you.
Our friends gave us wristbands. Our friends came through.
All right, props to Sean for getting like the 4 wristbands we needed.
Yeah.
That guy is a crazy motherfucker.
Menace behavior, but we needed it.
We loved him for
I went to grab my own, but enough for you.
So happy I got there because like celebration wouldn't be the same if I didn't get to go to that event. It was one of the best events.
Yeah,
the event you didn't believe in.
Oh yeah, I totally totally thought it wasn't gonna happen.
Yeah.
Did I bet? Did I lose a bet to you, Carson?
Oh yeah, where's my $5?
I pay $5 now. Fuck. Yeah.
Me too.
Venmo this motherfucker. The amount of times I Venmoed Carson over the past week.
Oh, we split. Oh, there's 6 of us. Oh, that's a lot of cards for the town. Just fucking. Oh god, you got about it.
This guy was on Monday, so I did some calculations.
The infamous $5 tip. None of us, mind you.
That was
That's hilarious. And at this point, we were all still upstairs, like just watching. No, we started to walk around because we're like, well, we might as well
get a lay of the land.
While all this news is dropping. But then shit just kept coming.
Yeah, we started going. At a point, it was me. I don't think. Yeah, Evan, you were there, but like, it was me, Carson, and Preston. At a point, we went to the food court to grab like a granola bar and some water, and then we were like, Indiana Jones?
That was so funny.
Another bet I lost. I was like, "There's no way they show Indiana Jones here. No way."
Just a photo.
Yeah, I know people are losing their minds. Granted, I wasn't there. I bet it's really cool to see Harrison on stage and just him getting emotional over John Williams and the theme and everything. But it's literally Indy in a random cave with a flashlight looking down.
Silhouette.
Congratulations, Indy's back. But again, this is James Mangold coming back, so I have all the faith.
Willow
can be good.
Also.
Willow came out.
Yeah. And you know
trailer.
what? I watched that trailer again. It's pretty cool.
I need to watch.
I know nothing about the
OG.
original or anything.
Should we watch it? Do we do Willow commentary? We have to, yeah.
I mean, yeah, because I haven't seen it. I haven't even watched the trailer for the new one.
Is this a Willow TV series or a movie?
I think it's a series. I think Disney Plus said it's a series.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's continuing, or it's a sequel series.
So this is like the Dark Crystal that happened on Netflix that got canceled?
I want to watch that.
Heard great things about that.
Taron Egerton, baby.
Oh.
Hell yeah.
He was the Elvis guy, right?
Where's my Tetris movie, goddamn?
Yeah, where is your Tetris movie? It's a great question.
Anyway, what else happened there? Did they spot anything else?
So Willow, I think it ended. So Willow, Indy,
Oh,
Cassian,
you forgot
they-
Favreau.
Mando.
coming out.
They Favreau, Filoni, and they did show some footage
from
Mando
Iron
season
Man.
3.
2000 Oh, yeah, Mandalorian.
Yes, which I reacted to with Preston with Sean Loon in the background. I uploaded it like on my data like while we were chilling, and then
So,
all my comments were flooded. Where is it? Link me. I will pay you for this. Like, it's not mine, bro.
I will get on my knees. Sure, no.
But some guy was like, "Why wouldn't you include it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, let me just get a copyright strike real quick. I got you."
So we saw through memes, there's some hidden memes. We saw footage from Mando, the Thursday one and the Saturday one.
And the Saturday one.
And the
But
Saturday one.
Honestly, I
The
don't
Thursday
really
one we
remember.
saw the Thursday one we saw more of than the Friday.
More of,
Saturday
yeah.
one. But the Thursday one is like this looks very interesting. And I tweeted this out. Are they positioning Bo-Katan as the villain of this season or not? Because I'm getting conflicting reports from people that actually
Well,
saw
because
the
then they're
full
like,
footage.
oh, Grogu's teaming up with her. Or
Yes,
something. I'm
and
like, what?
Mando's using her ship in some places where like they're in her ship, or Mando's talking, and in the background is Bo-Katan's ship. Like it looks like they're traveling to Mandalore together. They're doing these missions together, and also the
Very
armor.
interesting.
Emily Swallow, what was her name? I forget her last name, but the actress who plays the armor said she's very much more prominent in this season than the other past seasons. And we kind of figured this given the setup we got for season 3 in the Book of Boba Fett, where the armor is the one giving Mando Din his task to go redeem himself, which is stupid in and of itself, because he took off his mask to help out Grogu. So to be a true Mandalorian, he's got to do this stuff.
This journey that he doesn't need it.
Exactly. Yeah, I think hopefully he'll realize that he doesn't need to do these trials, and how his impact with Grogu is going to realize like the true path that he should be going down towards, not this continuing down the rabbit hole, being this radical part of this radical faction that the armor represents. But then, speaking of radicals, we get the Bo-Katan of it all, who's also a radical for a different cause, because she just wants that Darksaber, presumably, I think. After season 2 ended, I figured Bo-Katan was just gonna keep like pestering Din about the Darksaber, but it doesn't look like she
Fight
is,
me.
right?
Fight me.
And
I thought we'd
what
get
is the
that,
state
but-
of Mandalore right now again? Like it's in
Tatters.
tatters, from
It's
the Night of a
Night-
Thousand Tears.
Correct. Yeah.
Toast.
So
Okay.
it's torn, but I think in the trailer somebody warned him about going there, but he continues to go there. He says, "I'm going."
The trailer sees him seeing the state of it, right?
Yeah, I think there's like a shot where he's like on top of the building. It's like a big wide shot. From the 180p I saw this trailer.
Yeah, right.
I remember all the way back at like I think it was the season premiere of Rebels season 4, where like we went to Mandalore, and I'm like, damn, you live like this?
Yeah, I was like, this is a very dusty, sandy world.
Right.
Yeah.
But then again, that's only because it had been during the rebellion, or actually,
Empire.
it's pre-Empire, but it's like
Mm.
during the Empire's rising phase, like it's been having that kind of like industrial pact with the Empire and stuff like that.
They just had their little castle,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah. Little dome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that Mandalore stuff in season 3 is really cool. Like House of whatever Sabine was, like House Ren, that kind of stuff, really cool. But yeah, so and then the Thursday one had Bo-Katan saying like, "You didn't think your father was the only Mandalorian, right?" Or something like that, right? A quote.
Which now I'm like, at first I was like, that sounds villainous, and now I'm like, is it villainous?
Yeah, because he's
saying that to Grogu, right.
He's sitting in this throne. As Molly Damon said, it was like akin to like a throne room you'd see in like I can't think of anything, Game of Thrones or something, where just like this big throne room, glass windows on either side. Maybe that's in Mandalore, I'm not sure. But yeah, so that seemed very aggressive. It seemed very antagonistic. But then come Saturday,
kidnapping Grogu,
right? And then come Saturday, we can just skip over to Saturday real quick for the Mando stuff. But on Saturday, the Mando trailer is a lot more action. There's Mando
more action, yeah.
Dropping out of like these.
The space battles looked insane in the footage.
The space battles, because we kind of figured this with the new hot rod that Din has. There's going to be a lot more use in terms of space battles. So there's a ton more space battles. I don't think there's a New Republic. I think there's just other bounty hunters, Mandalorians. I'm not sure who they're fighting. The Empire, or remnants of the Empire. Maybe not even that, right? Because would they be fighting the Empire? Because there's no big Empire threat now with
Homeboy. I'm sure
he's in jail.
Gideon's back though.
You think so?
I think 2 seconds into this first episode.
You think?
I think it.
Do I smell another bet coming?
I think they start the season with a cold open jailbreak or something.
No way they reversed it that quickly.
You said that about Grogu.
Did you see what they did?
You see what they did with Grogu? But about 4 seconds.
I never doubted. Well, I never said like they'll reverse it. I was thinking they would expand it, but they reversed it, and I was happy they did. For this one, though, I would like keep what's his name, Moff Gideon. Keep Moff Gideon in jail for a lot of season 3. Make season 3 focused on the Mandalorians. This guy would ruin the pacing and everything. Just keep him in the background. You can have him scheming, akin to like in the Watchmen TV series with Jeremy Irons' character. He was in a whole plot of his own on his mansion. That's doing conniving shit. Just have him do that. Have us cut back to Gideon doing some creepy, weird shit.
Well, I would say that, but he hasn't been doing shit in season 1 or 2, so.
Yeah, I know. They haven't really used his character that well at all. But anyways, in the other part of the trailer, it was like way more action heavy. Mando's dropping out of ships. Din using that flamethrower again. It looked very, very cool.
I don't remember any of this.
Yeah, I remember seeing the flamethrower. I remember him like pulling a gun out. There's a lot of shooting. There's fighting. Not much really to dive into.
I just remember the N1 like being chased and like him doing a spin.
Yeah, hard to get into it without having watched this trailer again and again. But either way, this season is shaping up to be like the biggest season in terms of scope and scale. That's what we can kind of say from the trailers.
Sure.
It looks way more expansive, and again, Din is on this mission where he's hopefully going to be caught into like this psychological crossroads between what he wants to do and what he has to do.
I've been saying this for 3 seasons.
We have, and I think season 1 gave us that in terms of like just the setup and the teases for it. Season 2, we got a little bit of it with episode 3, I think, when he first encountered Bo-Katan. We're like, okay, this is setting up something very interesting. But then the rest of season 2 was delved into the whole I must deliver him to the Jedi plot. For him and Ahsoka and Boba Fett and that Skywalker kid. So
Jake
Skywalker, yeah.
Jake from State Farm?
Exactly, yeah. He's wearing khakis and everything.
Like a good Jedi, Luke Skywalker's there.
Best scene in cinema, right, Nathan?
Chain cinema.
Yikes.
I assure you it didn't know.
So I think now that we're done with the dumb Jedi plotline, we can have this Mando-focused plotline. I think is going to be really good for exploring who Din is behind the mask, what he actually wants now that he has everything he needs. And Grogu, there's no like conflict between him and Grogu now. Him and Grogu are on the same page.
Mhm.
And I'm excited to see how Din handles the armor, how Din handles Bo-Katan. How does he progress in terms of like the Darksaber, him leading people? He's not really a leader yet at all.
Yeah.
Is the season going to dive into that at all?
I remember. I think we were like chilling at the Light and Magic panel, Evan, you and I, and I think like one of the DJs brought up like the ideas of cameos and stuff and like hype.
Oh yeah,
and you were like very like loudly. You were like, no one wants
cameos.
That. And I'm like looking around like, we're gonna get jumped at Celebration.
Yeah, because what was he saying? Was this in the context of Mando?
I don't even know.
It was in the context of something where it's like we could see a lot of maybe it was Kenobi for all I know, but like all these cameos. I'm like, nobody wants cameos in Star Wars. Stop it. I know Deborah Chow said like there's a lot of surprises in the upcoming episodes of Kenobi. No, I don't want to hear that.
Whole crowd's losing their shit.
I don't want to hear that. Yo, cameos! Who are we gonna see? Quinlan Voss. I don't care. I'm
hyped for Quinlan.
Quinlan Voss is gonna be really cool. I just you're right. And that one's not even that one's something similar to like who was the guy we saw in Mando season 2? The guy in the first episode.
Right. Yeah, Timothy Olyphant.
Timothy Olyphant's character.
Yeah, and it'd be good because for viewers who don't know what it is, they don't know who it is, and they get a new character, and it works. Yeah. And for us, it's like, okay.
Quinlan isn't on the same level as Ahsoka, Luke, that kind of thing, where it's like, it takes me out.
He was a background extra in like what, Phantom Menace maybe? And then,
background extra in Phantom Menace, and then
Clone Wars. Don't forget about Clone Wars.
No, but yeah, that's the thing is like in terms of like the wide view of like people who only see movies, like they didn't watch Clone Wars.
We've never seen him in live action.
Read Dark Disciple. Disciple.
With him and Ventress, right?
Yeah, him and Ventress. And got busy! They did.
Oh, it's just too good.
Dark Side Love, man.
Peak Pixar. But yeah, so Mandalorian in general, I liked what I got from the Mando this weekend. It was a lot different from when we got a Mando in 2019 where they couldn't say shit. But
we were on the precipice.
Yeah. But yeah,
they show like the salacious crumb on like the
we got one in a cage, and then we come back and they're cooking it, and the friend is watching. This is fucked up.
Yeah, that was funny.
2019 is wild
time. But yeah, Mando. This is just going to show how Mando is super popular. This was the panel on Saturday morning was way more packed than the Thursday celebration panel. Maybe that was because less people came on Thursday and more people come on Saturday most times of the celebration. But either way, the hype was through the roof for Mando this entire weekend. Dave Filoni and Favreau were like gods at the celebration. People kept losing their mind. Whenever Filoni came out to the show floor stage, people just kept screaming and screaming.
Every time I saw Filoni, everybody was breaking my eardrums. It was great.
Right? Yeah. So this guy, I'm so happy for Filoni specifically. Because people know Favreau now, Iron Man, all this stuff. But Filoni is like, people didn't know who he was back in like 2008. Yeah. I think even when Rebels first came out, people were doubting it. If Rebels came out now, there would be no doubt because it's from Filoni.
Yeah, right.
But since in 2014, 2015, when Rebels started, people were like, oh, this looks really weird. I mean, like, he did Clone Wars, but that was because George Lucas was with him. It was Lucas's baby. Lucas isn't involved with Rebels, so how is this going to work? But I think once Twilight of the Apprentice came out, I think people are like, okay, Filoni is like our guy now.
Skinny blades. I like the skinny blades.
And speaking of more stuff from, well, I guess Filoni and Favreau are producing the show. The new, because right after all the Mando stuff on Thursday, I believe they brought John Watts out to talk.
Oh, wait, that was Thursday too, right?
Yeah.
Skeleton Crew.
Skeleton Crew is the
awful title.
I like awful.
It's supposed to be good. Stranger Things / Amblin Spielberg adventure. Set in the same 5 years post Return of the Jedi.
Two things, Bob.
Okay, all right, the second.
Title garbage.
Title's pretty bad.
Title's pretty bad.
It's pretty cool.
Maybe I'll get used to it. I'm just Skeleton Crew sounds like a night shift kind of dude. Anyways,
it gives me Goonies vibes.
Never seen it.
That's your problem.
You gotta watch Goonies.
Out of all the movies, you fuckers haven't seen either. Anyways, sorry.
No.
Goonies is like a
I'm sorry, I haven't
though.
seen Goonies. Of all
you should be.
You should
be.
Yeah.
Oh man.
The fact that
Sean
you
Astin,
saw the guy in everywhere all at once in that movie before you see him in Goonies.
Yeah,
Yes.
you worship the altar of Temple of Doom, but you haven't seen his peak fiction
You haven't seen his peak performance.
of Data
I forget.
in the Goonies.
The Goonies, yeah.
Well. But two
He's
things.
an inventor.
This was rumored to be set in the High Republic. I'm bummed that it's set in the same
Yeah.
time period.
I forgot about that rumor.
As I think the leakers got their
Ed
wires
Goosier.
crossed. Oh, cool.
Oh,
Nathan, you had one job with the comments.
It literally just
I'm
popped up.
sorry.
We'll always have them yours. Oh boy, I had one.
Can you elaborate?
That's a drink.
All right. Good job.
That's it. No, nothing. No other lore attached.
Yeah. I don't drink.
Always
but
some truth and legend.
I don't drink, but one guy on this panel does.
I feel so bad because I was like with them, like, yeah, I'll have one drink, and I had 3.
Yeah, 3. You betrayed me.
And you didn't fall off the stage, so.
And I took us to IHOP. It
You
was
did.
the wrong IHOP, but I took us to IHOP.
You took us 3 miles away.
I tried, man. They also messed up. Group
Yeah,
B.
Group B was hardly together. Anyways.
So
Skeleton Crew.
So yeah, it's not in the High Republic, which is a bummer. I'm getting tired of this New Republic era, to be honest. I'm sorry, because somebody did like a time span in the current projects and past projects in each famous time period in Star Wars. In this New Republic era, I'm just not vibing with it. Like Mando, cool, solid show. Ahsoka, still got to get excited for it. We'll talk about that later. But Book of Boba Fett was okay. And now we have this show, which could be anything. But John Watts attached, that's fine. John Watts isn't like a huge seller for me. He's a cool guy, but he's not like, John Watts, oh my God! So no, I'm not really that hyped for him. And the premise, like, oh, this is Stranger Things meets Star Wars. I'm like, okay. I mean, it's cool and all. I just have to get sold on it. I'm not super thrilled.
Oh, and Jude Law's
in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like
Dumbledore
Jude.
himself.
Cool guy. That is sad that we think of Jude Law and think of his worst roles.
John Watson in Sherlock Holmes.
There we go. Much better franchise.
What was I gonna say though? Yeah, it's weird where it's set because, like, are they gonna be in crosshairs with the Empire? Like, I would really like. I think the show would have been better if it was set even closer to Force Awakens. Like, it would have been cool as a First Order kind of on the run, like the rebellion against the tide of the First Order kind of rising into power type of thing. But I wonder how the show's gonna go. But
because
that's just me, because I want more stuff that's even 20 years past, 20 years past Return of the Jedi versus 5 type deal.
But this project makes me even more confident that Filoni and Favs are just mapping the fuck out of this 5-year time period post Return of the Jedi era, this New Republic era, where it's like they're in complete control of everything in this era, from Ahsoka to Boba Fett to Mando to Skeleton Crew to maybe another new show that we haven't even heard of yet. But going back to 2020, Kathy Kennedy said like they're leading up to a special event. I think that's still in the cards. I think they've always been thinking about this ultimate event against Thrawn in this time period. Was probably going to be the most teased in Ahsoka, I think. With Thrawn going to be in there. Ezra's going to be in there. Ahsoka and Sabine are going to be in there. So all of that's going to be
Star Wars Endgame, baby.
Yeah, I think Ahsoka's going to be like the Captain Marvel to Endgame. You know what I mean? Where it's like the big event prior to the big event. But we shall see. But either way, Skeleton Crew. I'll wait to see how it goes. It's crazy how it's 2023 already, seemingly airing before The Acolyte, which got announced 2 years prior to the Skeleton Crew.
It's hella fast tracked.
This does make sense in the sense that like Book of Boba Fett was filmed like that. It was filmed in like what 3 or 4 months, very quickly. I think so. So if they're using the volume for Skeleton Crew, I think this is also going to be a very fast production. It gets me a little bit worried to see the production quality of the show. But
I don't know though, because
you don't think so?
The concept art they showed was like very massive in terms of they were running away from like a crawler type thing. It was like in the woods, you know, like total 80s, like
I didn't see that.
ET style thing.
ET style.
Let's
vibe,
go. Speeder across the moon.
But no, Carson, I think I'm stealing a bit from Star Wars Explained here in his theory, but they hijacked this ship. It could be an Imperial ship or ex-Imperial, could be a New Republic ship. And I think that most of the setting is going to be on that big ship. It's called a skeleton crew because they're hijacking the ship. They're the crew of said ship. And they don't know how to fly it. They don't know how to fly it. They're going to be going across the galaxy and going to random places or just, trying to make ends meet, trying to run away from our Jude Law character who most likely playing the villain, I would assume.
God, I want a character that's made of bones so bad. Sounds so. They won't do it, but it sounds so fun.
But yeah, that's what I assume. It can be like one of those one set kind of things.
I still think the Acolyte's coming out in 2023, though.
I don't think so, man. I think
they're gonna start filming here, though. I thought.
I keep hearing for the production filming of the Acolyte, it's October to May. October 2022 to May 2023.
I thought it was like this month. It was supposed to.
But no, it got delayed because guess what's filming this month? Ahsoka. Ahsoka started in May. That was the new May show, and I think Ahsoka's gonna film up until.
But it's not all the same crew for.
It's not, but I think. I don't know. I just think. I mean, again, that's what I remember hearing about the production date. That Acolyte's going to be running into next year. It'll be interesting
because we also got confirmation that Mando's coming February 2023 now.
Mando's February. Ahsoka did they say spring? Did they say spring, or am I just making that up?
I just think they said 2023.
They just said 2023. I would assume spring for Ahsoka. They're filming now. Spring for Ahsoka, and then in the fall,
I assume Skeleton Crew is fall.
Skeleton Crew. That's 3 shows. Oh, spring 2023 is actually Visions season 2. That's spring 2023.
Yeah.
Visions. So then, Ahsoka in May in the summertime, and then Skeleton Crew probably in August, where Andor is currently. So,
I still think Acolyte can make a December date. I don't know. That's just me being optimistic.
December is basically 2024.
No, it's not.
December is 2024.
It's different.
If something's coming out in December, it's coming out the next year. That don't count. Yeah, that makes sense.
Stop the count.
Anyway.
But was there any Acolyte news now that we're on the topic?
No, not one word about Acolyte.
I think
that's what we were pissed about the first
day. Didn't someone bring up Leslie Headland?
I remember hearing something about
they brought her up at the High Republic panel, and
that's right.
I can't remember where else. Kathy did in interviews for sure.
I remember Kathy. I was trying to think back to those Kathy interviews over the weekend because she did a lot of.
Yeah, she did a bunch of interviews, and it was definitely brought up a ton.
I think they were just saying that that like it's coming out soon, that they're excited because this is so removed from the Favreau and Filoni stuff.
Well, and don't forget that also right before Celebration, they gave her Leslie Headland her own Vanity Fair piece or whatever on upcoming Acolyte. So it's being hyped up and being talked about. It's not like it just died or anything, but it's just like very interesting that they didn't talk about it at all.
I have something from May 27th where Kathy Kennedy's just saying, we are intrigued by how the show works. We're excited to expand on that, given the timeline. And it gives us a larger playground for experimenting in terms of experimenting because of the era. Basically nothing new here. Not even confirmation about the cast. So
nothing. Yeah,
that's depressing.
But the other thing I wanted to quickly talk about at this panel is they didn't mention movies whatsoever. Good point. Not one mention. Now in both the Vanity Fair piece and in subsequent interviews, Kathy's saying Taika's movie. Yes. Is the next out the gate.
Keep on talking.
And people, look that up. Then there was a rumor, someone posted a rumor that it's still coming, or Disney or whoever, or Lucasfilm's pushing for December 2023 still. I'm like, that's not possible. Unless, I'm like, if that was happening, don't you think they would have said Taika's coming off Thor, and this summer he'll be filming new title, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, dropping December 2023.
Let me go to this IGN article from May 30th, which is over the weekend of Celebration. She says, in an interview with Total Film, She was asked if the Waititi project will be the next Star Wars film, and if it will be next year. She says, "Yeah, well, not 2023, but late 2023."
What?
Adding that we haven't locked anything in yet.
So negative.
But Taika is next.
I forgot what year it was. I thought it was 2023 for a second.
2022.
Well, I mean, yeah, we can do it.
Well, it's June. They would have to been like secretly pre-production this for like months and be ready to be shooting like presumably. I mean, he has to do the press tour, right, for Thor.
Yeah.
Let me keep looking.
And
I mean, I just think like I remember Ryan like started shooting right after Force Awakens came out, and then
yeah, but that was also in like February or March.
Yeah, but then I mean
And
they
it's
were
June
doing
now.
pre-production like 2014 for last
Right,
Jedi,
exactly.
So.
So, and I think Taika's been so busy. I don't know if that.
In
I'm
another
sure it's
article,
bouncing around, you know.
In another article, she talks about we need to create a whole new saga that takes a lot of time. There's a lot of conversation around that. So again, it's similar to what she was saying in the Vanity Fair in terms of wanting to create whatever the next couple of movies are. They want to be seemingly connected.
And then the big thing was that it seemed like this could all be post Rise of Skywalker era.
Did we talk about that last time? But yeah, I'm excited for that.
We didn't.
I like that being.
Yeah,
post.
I like that too, but
yeah,
I think it's a challenge and an exciting thing.
Ninth Jedi alone from Star Wars Visions told us that there's a lot of infinite potential for anything post Tross.
I forgot about
100 years, thousands of years. It's like Ninth Jedi alone could be a great animated series that can go on forever. So, but yeah, Taika's thing could be said afterwards. Patty Jenkins, who has not been fired, could be said afterwards. But yeah, movie news was basically non-existent over the weekend. Kind of depressing.
It's crazy that even from the time we've done this podcast, we've always had movies as like, oh, that's like the next main thing. And then we had the hiatus post The Rise of Skywalker. And it's still kind of crazy to me that I'm not saying Star Wars is any better or for the worse, but like it's just interesting that how much Star Wars had shifted into different mediums and different things, and now
it's crazy.
Events are not necessarily film. What I'm not saying again, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying, just perceptually, it's interesting to watch that transition where it's like, oh my God, Star Wars. For most people, it was just the movies.
It's completely switched. Yeah, now it's in that gap. Mando has become the big centerpiece of Star Wars these days. Yeah, Mando is huge and it's driving TV. Like Obi-Wan Kenobi had the biggest draw for Disney Plus. Yeah. People are excited for Andor and all the other Disney Plus stuff coming forward. So yeah, Disney Plus is coming the future of Star Wars until we get any kind of hint of movie news. Because for me, I'm still excited for some movies. I want to see something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially with Taika. Taika's a cool guy. Yeah, that was basically it for Thursday. What we do Thursday night? What was that? What did we do there?
We went to a little screener.
Oh yeah! Wow.
Oh my God! Yeah.
I keep thinking that was Friday.
That was Thursday. Yeah.
That was Thursday.
Yeah, man. We got our gold wristbands and we got our Andor posters. Yeah.
Yeah.
We went and we were waiting in line, and we were a sufficient place in line. I am amazed we got as good seats as we got for this. Who was standing in line? Preston. Shout out Preston.
Trey, right?
Josh's
Trey and
backpack.
Preston, Josh.
Yeah, well, everybody started to meet up, but I think it was primarily Preston.
Yeah, we took Preston. Yeah, they went there, and then I went and sat down, and then everyone met us over there.
Yeah, it was great.
Wayne in line.
Stale popcorn, baby.
Yeah, we were like, here's boxes of popcorn water. I was like, oh my God. And it's like, yeah, stale popcorn. Like, shit. I'm still eating.
Awful stale popcorn, but we still ate it because we were starving. Yeah. That was great.
And then the pre-show starts, and they're throwing cereal and Pringles and all sorts of stuff, man. And then I think who was one of the first celebrities? Sam Witwer walks in, right?
Sam Witwer and Matthew Wood both walk in together.
It was just Sam Witwer.
There's these two girls in front of us just going unhinged, going, "Get away!" I'm like, Jesus. It was amazing.
That was wild. And then Hayden walks in.
Oh God.
to the
was
crowd.
insane.
I'm amazed he didn't get trampled.
He had like 3 bodyguards too.
Who's it? Rupert Friend?
Yeah, in the
Yeah.
white
Walks
suit.
in.
Rupert was
Yeah.
in the white suit.
O'Shea Jackson Jr. came in as
Oh, yeah.
well.
Mm-hmm.
The rest production.
Yeah, I think was Moses there?
Moses, I think, was. I mean, she was there. She joined on stage.
Yeah.
By the end with everybody.
By the end,
So
yeah,
I'm sure she was. But like the primary introduction was with Deborah Chow and Ewan McGregor on stage. And they introduced the first 2 episodes. And boy, howdy, let's get into that, man. Good job.
Good show.
Good show. I'm loving this.
I remember the first episode like comes to a close because we didn't know if they were like stitching and taking out the credits. So like it like went to black for a second and then like it continued. But then the episode did end and Carson was like, "How long was that?" I was like, it was only like 50 something minutes.
48
Like,
minutes.
We got more, baby. But yeah, it was wild. Like we kicked off with no prequel recap that's on Disney Plus, which is a great recap. But we did get Order 66 flashback, which was very surprising to see.
Yeah. I still think.
Do you guys still?
She's definitely having watched episode 3 now and then realizing that she pauses at that Jedi symbol or whatever in the safe house. I was like, oh yeah, she's 100% the youngling in this.
Well, all the Inquisitors were Jedi, but yes, I do think with the obsession of Kenobi and her knowing that Anakin Skywalker is Darth Vader, I can see Reva being the young Jedi that was in the flashback.
Her knowing Anakin though was solved via, like she said, she went through some like records or something. Didn't she explain it that way?
Doesn't Vader have a thing about his identity?
There was a lot of people that knew Anakin as Vader. I was reading something. Oh, it was before we went on air. I said I'm reading current Star Wars comics. Issue number like 8 or 9. Luke comes across this old woman, some random planet, and she's like, "Oh, you're the son of Anakin Skywalker, Darth Vader." I'm like, "How did she know?"
Excuse me. She told him that.
She told him that.
Was that after Empire?
Luke's like, spoiler alert for the comic book, came out 2 years ago. But Luke's like drowning, and she reads his mind, and she goes back to Empire Strikes Back, where Vader says, "I am your father," and she's like, "Whoa, you're the son of Anakin Skywalker, Darth Vader." And Luke's like, "But I'm not evil," kind of thing, right? And she's like, "Oh," she doesn't trust him at first. But either way, I'm like, how does she know? Then she explains that her master knew, and then she knew secondhand, and I'm like, how many people knew this fucking word kept secret in the Empire? Sorry,
this point,
Vader.
I'm just like, I don't care. Like,
it doesn't matter. But I think for the context of the show, I think Nathan's on the right page where it's like, if she's a Jedi, if she was part of the Jedi, she could have saw Anakin doing something and then, figured it out or something.
He did lead the charge with the 501st there.
Yeah,
so of course he's around.
And they might have been like Commander Vader or Lord Vader, that kind of thing. And that's
Lord
how
Vader.
she knew. And I initially I didn't think this was a plausible idea because I'm like, she doesn't look that young, but I don't know how old she could be. She could be like 28 in the show. I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
if I don't think she's even that old. I think she's like.
You think younger, in 20s? You think she's my age?
She'd have to be like 20. She's a youngling training.
Well, that's what Alex was kind of saying in his video of like, because it's only 10 years later.
It's only 10 years later.
And maybe she's 9 or 10 in that. Like,
yeah, but she could be. I mean, people.
Am I older than Reva?
And I kind of like
the character, maybe not the actors.
I kind of like that as an arc though, because I have a feeling that a lot of the stuff she is kind of a front just because she has to. That's the life she has to live. That's how she survives, kind of deal.
Yeah. They're really looking down on her. The fifth.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And if you're, what other choice? She's a force sense. What other choice as a force sensitive person did she have? It's either that or die, basically.
Yeah.
So I like that whole arc. I hope we dive into it a little more as
I like
coalesces. But
yeah, I'm with you guys. I like Reva a lot right now. And there was a thread over the weekend about how she bears resemblance to Kylo Ren's Force Awakens arc, where he's like, especially in the Force Awakens, where Kylo's introduced as somebody who's younger, but he's powerful, putting up a front on a secret mission that's different from the rest.
Yep. Wait until we get our.
He'd have to prove himself, of course. So.
Wait until we get. I know what I have to do with I don't know if the strength.
She kind of already
moment.
She kind of already got like I think her. I mean, Kylo killing Han was like the introduction to his redemption, but I think her killing the Grand Inquisitor was what Kylo wanted. It kind of like helped her out instead of like not helping her out. I think like now that she killed the Grand Inquisitor, thinks that he's dead. I think she's like on a hot chick now. Like we saw in episode 3 where she's like, I'm in charge now. And they're like, no, you're not. But so I'm excited to see where Reva goes. She's very
holy shit. Before we get too far, let's talk about just the introduction to the show. It's just really well paced, really well done. I felt like to me this felt really motivated. Like there was motivated editing. Like I know it sounds dumb. Like it's a TV show, obviously to be editing. Like,
but we've talked about.
But like it felt so purposeful in this, especially this first 2 episodes. Like the first thing I walk out of the thing, I'm like, I turned to Evan, I'm like, this felt like a TV show. Like there was scenes with other characters without the main character in it, which just felt so refreshing. That I'm like, I can just have a scene between Bail and Leia and not have to like have Mando like be there. Like it seems so obvious, but Mandalorian doesn't allow.
It doesn't do that. The show's called The Mandalorian, and we get every single scene being The Mandalorian. There's not a. Like
I think
90,
there's
90%,
maybe one Gideon
maybe
scene,
one
like
Gideon
30
scene
seconds
to set up like the death bots.
But it's about Mando, right? Yeah, or to set up something in a future episode. But like 90% of each episode of Mando is about Mando, which
the
is
plot of Mando. Which
fine, but it's like
a choice.
The show's called Obi-Wan Kenobi, but we're still getting like a 10-minute sequence.
And it automatically adds to it by the time that, especially when Leia and Obi-Wan finally meet in this show.
Great.
Which is fantastic stuff. The thing I think I just want to get that off my chest is like, that's the thing that really surprised me the most. They said, how are we going to pull him off planet? And I thought this is a brilliant choice to use a young Leia and then frame that, especially of like, why wouldn't she be more important or as important? Like it really worked for me. And of course the actress, I cannot say, like, she is Leia. Like she's fucking crazy. Like
she has Carrie energy. It's great.
Like just phenomenal shit. And they should be so proud of that because like she nails every single thing. And even we'll get to a scene in episode 3. It's like my favorite of the season so far. So fucking good.
But
the fire scene.
Benny Safdie is in a bar. Our boy.
I did not know that was Benny Safdie.
I saw Good Time.
Is he in Good Time?
He's the brother.
He's the brother.
I knew that.
That's a good, and I love this little introduction too because it sets up this whole like, yeah, you're doing your duty, but also like you're kind of being selfish, dude. Like, like you're kind of being selfish in the sense that you're doing your duty, but you're neglecting anything and anybody else because you think that nothing can be done. Essentially, I mean, he's grieving, really. But I love all these different things intersect. Like, it feels very fleshed out of like, okay, here's a Jedi that showed up and needs help. What is Kenobi going to do? Oh, he's not going to do that. How can we guilt him even more to getting him off? You know what I mean? Like, there's all these like little steps. And I love, like, he's on the little, he has like a day job and like the repetitive shots of him on the skiff, and then it gets closer and closer and he finally finally breaks a little bit and has to go. And I'm like, oh. And then Bail comes to Tatooine. He's like, get your ass up. Let's go.
Guilt trip his ass.
There's just a lot of great stuff to set up. A lot of TLJ, Luke and Obi-Wan, which I'm loving.
Yes. And the other thing too is I love how there's a lot of stuff that, well, especially in episode 3, that happens. But I love how they deny us a lot of things. Master Qui-Gon, no, you're not getting it. He's not there yet. Like, he's
so happy for
very
that.
much like,
and they throw me for a loop because in that first scene when he says that in the cave, they leave the shot pretty open for a figure to appear, and he does not.
Yeah, like
you feel the emptiness.
Yeah, they like wait a beat or two, and it's like not gonna happen yet. And it's like, you're right, it can't happen. It's episode 1, episode 2. It's like he hasn't reached that point in his own character journey to respond to Qui-Gon. I think though, given that we've seen this basically in every episode so far, him asking for Qui-Gon's help, is Liam in the finale? Are we seeing it?
So.
Yeah,
I think so.
Maybe penultimate even for final inspiration.
Ooh, I love that penultimate. I love that.
But also I love the scene when he's having the nightmares about his
Anakin.
past and Anakin. I like the use of the Revenge of the Sith footage. I love the way it's especially edited because like a lot of the time it was. I loved it the most when it was coming back and forth, where it's like the innocence of Jake Lloyd Anakin and then the on fire Anakin back and forth. Like, oh my fuck, that hurts.
Yeah, it hit like all the theories for me too, because I was like, we're gonna get the scene where Anakin says, "I hate you" in the first episode. And that's exactly what's in his nightmares. Like, I hate you. It's the last thing he remembers about Anakin. It's so depressing. I just love this Obi-Wan Kenobi in episode 1 and 2 here. Carson's right, where there's a lot of Last Jedi vibes where he feels like he's failed. But beyond that, even more so than Luke, at least, Kenobi still, though, unlike Luke, is part of a mission. He has his mission to train Luke, to watch over Luke, and that's really guiding him. Luke didn't even have it. Luke completely gave up. And Obi-Wan's in that same vein, but I like that he's having this conversation with Owen, where he's like, we have to train him. By the way, I love Owen. I love Kenobi's voice. Like, it's different from the prequels, but it's not quite Alec McGuinness yet.
It's transitional.
It's transitional, and it's beautiful. I love it.
And I think Joel Edgerton's delivering great as Owen as well.
So good.
I would like to talk about that scene. Let's just that in and of itself is great. He throws the toy down, a toy he bought from the Jawa, which like it's just it's a charming little thing. Like, and I was like probably like one of the few in our friend group who was like, "Oh, it's this T16 toy he plays with." Like and then not in like a family way. I'm just like that's so fucking sweet. That's adorable. You know, he throws it down. It's like, we don't need anything from you, and he's like, it's just a toy. He's like, but Owen's just doubling down and saying like, I want you to stay away. We don't need anything from you, Ben.
We have to train him.
And this made me realize too that Kenobi's almost like living through Luke in a way of like, man, I gotta like, my hopes of doing anything else in life are diminished, but maybe he can go off plan. He can.
He's my purpose.
Live a life, and he can join the fight because what can I do? Like,
good point.
There's so many like great lines where he's just like, there's more to life than your pharma, and he has to see that. And then he was like asking like, is he okay? And Owen's saying, you don't care if he's okay. You care if he's showing. I was like, fuck.
Good stuff. But going back to that line, Nathan, I think Obi-Wan's a little bit projecting there. It's like, there's stuff beyond here. It's like, same thing for you, Kenobi. Like, you could be helping. Granted, you are on your mission. You have a special mission, which is like protecting Luke. But Luke is safe. In all intents and purposes, he's safe with Owen.
Actually, like
Kenobi is just using that for his excuse.
That brings me to the thing. Just random. On the flight home, I was watching the Twin Sons episode of Rebels, and Hera had the great line of just like, "I'd like to believe more than anything that he's alive, but like, do you really think he would be out there hiding instead of helping us?" And I'm like, "Oh,
yeah." That's a good thematic thing to the show too, of like even how we see him fight. He doesn't fight in episode 3, but he literally.
It's not a fight.
He hasn't made that transition yet, and I think that's a really smart character development here, and I think we're going to start to be on the upswing here, because we're quite literally on the low and burned point right now.
We'd say we're on the low ground.
Low ground.
Yeah. But God, their scene is just great. Like, it's my responsibility, Owen. Time comes, he must be trained. And it's harsher because like I know we heard in the trailers like trained his father, but then he like doubles down as like, Anakin's dead, Obi-Wan. I'm not gonna let you make the same mistake twice.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Again, Owen's delivery there is so purposeful, so like it's so fatherly. He's too. Like awesome. Owen's a father to Luke right now. He really wants to protect Luke, and Owen's not the villain here. Neither of them are really, but Owen's just like doing what he does to protect Luke, and given everything that's going on in the galaxy, seeing that a Jedi gets hanged in the streets, I understand what Owen's going through. He does not want that to happen to Luke at all. If it happens to Kenobi, so what? But he doesn't want it to happen to Luke at all. So I love that Owen and Kenobi dynamic. I hope we see Owen again sooner rather than later.
Yeah. Owen had a great conversation with Reva as well.
She gets up in his face. Darth's like flirting, taunting with him a little bit. It's really cool, interesting. It reminded me of like the third sister in not third sister, but the ninth sister in
Trilla?
Fallen Order in Trilla, where she's like
Yeah.
flirting in an evil kind of way with Cal. It's like, what's going on here? It's like, it's really evil, but I love it.
So I'm gonna ship this too.
You know. No,
but it's a great line. It's like, do you have a Jedi on your farm? It's like, no, Jedi are vermin. I kill vermin on my farm.
Good shit.
It's like, oh man, and Obi-Wan comes in like when they leave. It's like, thank you, Owen. I didn't do it for you.
I didn't do it for you.
Hobbles off. God, he's so good.
So good.
Can I get some Baru? Can I get some balance, please?
Really? Yeah.
It makes me wonder. Like,
I hope we do pin back to Owen and Baru.
Yeah, I do wonder like if we're ever gonna how early are we gonna pop back to Tatooine, or if it's not gonna be till the finale. But
Probably not. But yeah, episode 1 in general really good. Like Carson said, we get that repetition, which I love, about him doing the monotonous thing, going about his day. But by the end, after that talk with Bale, he flashes the lightsaber. The crowd went crazy, like, "Oh my god, the lightsaber!"
He unburied them, and it was both saber.
He unburied them, and then he's like, "Hopefully, nobody buries lightsabers on Tatooine again." Like step at Charles.
Don't do that.
I'm kidding. Kind of. But
just one of them.
Just one of them.
Leia saber.
Leia saber though. Okay.
But
and then we get to episode 2 though.
But also, like, I had no idea of anything Leia coming. I didn't know of like any like set leaks coming or anything. So
I remember we talked about Leia.
There was like room, but I remember we were also
we knew they were
theorizing. But like also we were theorizing specifically, I think, for Andor, because like Bale and Senate stuff. That
but like we could see her like Princess Leia of Alderaan kind of thing. But
while we focus on Luke here,
yeah, exactly. But she's so young here, and people always think of like young Luke. We saw him in the trailer and everything, but the fact that young Leia is a driving force of this first episode is beyond me. Because as soon as this show was aired, I was like, I want to stay on Tatooine. Just give me a character-driven story on Tatooine. Mm-hmm. But now I'm just like, get his ass off planet. Help save Leia. It's like, I love that shit.
And goddamn, Alderaan looks so beautiful. And also, like, when we get to the point when Leia is kidnapped and Bale calls for Obi-Wan, it very much mirrors when Leia in A New Hope calls for Obi-Wan's help. Like down to the organa of it all. It's great. And then like when Bale doubles down and just like, no, you ain't getting out of this, and he goes down to the planet. Just like there's no one else like bear. And his great lines of just like, you made mistakes, we all did. It's the past. Be done with it. You couldn't save Anakin, but you could save her.
So good. And again, that's very much Last Jedi with Rey saying like, Kylo failed you, I won't, kind of thing. Parallels, baby.
Only the best fucking scene in Star Wars, Evan.
But yeah, so again, Last Jedi, Obi-Wan parallels, beautiful. But yeah, I'm just so excited to see Alderaan. Leia's great, and for everybody that read Leia, Princess of Alderaan, we're like, give this Leia spinoff. Like, I'm tired of like character spinoff and all, but she's so great. Like, I wouldn't mind a Stranger Things-esque series with.
Give me young Holdo, baby.
Growing up, we could get young Holdo. You can adapt some of Princess of Alderaan.
Bring Claudia on as a producer,
please. Real quick, Charles Soule got promoted, right? He's a creative consultant at Lucasfilm now, story consultant at Lucasfilm now.
That's amazing.
They should like upgrade all the High Republic authors for story consultants. But either way,
put 2 of them in Mando, and we'll get better.
Oh, hello.
No,
put Cav Scott in Mando. Oh man.
Yeah.
Anyways, episode 2 rolls around, and Obi-Wan's on his way to what's that planet called?
Yes,
it's not Nar Shaddaa, but it's basically Nar Shaddaa.
Sure. But this specifically establishes a planet where like no transmissions go in and out. People like their secrets, which I think is gonna help for Obi-Wan in his case, because they're putting like wanted signals all around. So luckily, I don't think that can beam out outside of like the Empire.
Yeah.
And they go for like full John Wick chapter 2 at a point.
Later on, yeah, it's on everybody's fob. It's like, oh shit.
But but you know, we're going through. Obi-Wan's trying to track down. We end up at Kumail Nanjiani's character,
who was really good. Served his role. People have been complaining about him, obviously, but whatever. He's really cool, really solid character. Fulfilled his role perfectly.
Yeah. I remember that interview came out with him, I think like a week prior, about how he was sort of like a charlatan type character. And as soon as I saw like the windows close in unison, I'm like, this motherfucker's using
Everybody in the crowd was like, yeah, this guy is full of it. So full of it.
Not even. But it was amusing.
And then when everyone comes in, he's like, let me raise the shutters again. Oh, hey, buddy.
It's so good. It's like, it's like the using the good of the light to help others. That's very unforgiving. And then he gives his cost. Okay. Everyone's like, that light is unforgivable. It's so funny.
It was so good.
Puts him at blaster point, takes out his magnets. But ultimately, like, we do like actually realize he is a guy who's actually working for the good. I mean, he's making his money to get by because that's how he has to. But he is actually like inspired by the Jedi. He cares about the safety of people. He does.
Yeah, he's swindling people, but as he said, yeah, I'm still helping this family. Like we introduced with him swindling this mother and her son or whatever. But yeah,
he had a line that was like, I got them safe, just poor.
So funny.
Damn.
Some good Star Wars humor there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like his character, and eventually helps him out because, again, he is a good person.
Mm-hmm.
But the Inquisitors are on the tail. They laid this trap because Reva knew that from the Jedi archives that Kenobi had a past with Bail Organa. So I'm going to steal Leia Organa to draw Obi-Wan out on this planet. We'll capture him like fish in water. And it was very interesting at that revelation because we're like, okay, is this how she also knew that Anakin's Vader, or is there something more personal there? But we like that she doesn't know that Leia is like the twin of Luke or has so much.
I don't think anybody in the galaxy knows that Padme gave birth. Or I mean, I don't even think like the galaxy knows about Anakin and Obi-Wan really, except the close people in Padme's life, per that side of the Vader comics happening.
The whole Sabe and the handmaidens. Yeah.
Right. But
Vader literally went to Padme's resting place and was like, where is she? Or something like that. Like, what happened here? But like, Vader, you
remember the fake out of the cover where it was Natalie Portman, and we're like, what? It's the handmaiden.
It's the handmaiden.
They got us.
But yeah, so yeah, nobody knows. It's really cool. But given the end of episode 3, anything could happen.
There's so many like great moments, especially like when we get to 3. But like going through 2 real quick, the dynamic building up between Obi-Wan and Leia is phenomenal. I love her curious childlike nature, but also Obi-Wan's like fatherly figureness.
Yeah,
right. Like she's so naive still. She's like, ever since he ran into you being shot at, I was like, whoa.
I want to try this one on. We're hiding, Leia.
No, wait, stay down, please.
One of the funniest bits where he's buying like the cloak, and he's like, you don't need those. And the gloves. It's such a dad thing. So
but one of the best parts I like about Attack of the Clones is like Obi-Wan, like detective mode. Now, I liked seeing Obi-Wan prior to freeing her, which is like going through the underworld. He came to this weird chemistry like pot. They're like making some kind of drugs or whatever. He just has it explode and he beats people up. Like he's still rough. Like he got beat up.
He punched the dude. He's like,
oh. He's like, and then
I think he punched his horns.
Yeah, like he's not used to dodging, right? But then he still like handles them well enough, and then he rescues her. It was very good. But yeah, then she still doesn't trust him when they're walking away, especially like when he's like, "Well, does he admit he's a Jedi, right?" Or
I mean, he openly talks about like, yeah, he knows the Force, but he's like, I can't use the Force because we'll be like we'll be caught. Like he can't do anything to prove it, or else they'll be captured. And of course, she's like right to think like, I don't actually know you. Like, do you know my dad?
Stranger danger? Like,
my
dad's famous, sort of. Like, he's a senator.
And then when they see like she sees the wanted hologram of Obi-Wan. She's like,
nah.
You're the reason I was captured, which is kind of semi-true. But for deeper meaning, she doesn't understand.
Exactly. Also,
Well, and it's like she just like when she starts to run away, he can't like do anything. He's just like, Leia, no.
He's like just. But also concurrent with this, we see the Inquisitors have some drama of their own, where Reva
you still want Kenobi.
God,
very good.
Wait to say, Sun King is so fucking good in this whole show.
He's so good. The way he carries himself too.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the tweet of like the Amazon cutout of him? And he's
it's just like,
Mom says it's my turn on the Xbox.
So funny. But yeah, so he has an Inquisitor drama where this whole plot to draw out Kenobi was not authorized by the Grand Inquisitor. They had no idea. So they get there, they're like, you did this all without our permission. Like, you kidnapped the senator's daughter? What the hell? But then she tells him, like, hey, Kenobi might be on this planet. He's here. And then they're like, okay, you know what? We'll take over from this.
Very Tarkin Krennic.
Yeah. Basically, yeah. This is my accomplishment.
My trap, not yours.
So then they walk away. And I'm like, why are you walking away? She's obviously going to go about her business again. And as soon as they walk away, that's when she gets the bounty hunters to like start activating the bounty on Obi-Wan. Yes. And that's when everybody gets all John Wick 2'd, where it's like, oh,
Forlom? It's not.
Yeah. They get all John Wick, where it's like everybody's out for him, and that's when Leia starts running. So all this chaos is happening at once, and then
onto the rooftops.
Beautiful shot of Reva overlooking the city, trying to look out for any kind of sound or commotion going on.
Her parkour was intense. Like, she started
really cool.
She did like a sideways jump flip. What the fuck?
Yeah, very cool. Using the Force, breaking down the bridges. It was really cool. I loved it.
It's great.
So there was like a huge
part of me
clock there.
Part of me was waiting. I was like, Are you gonna fly with that lightsaber?
Yeah,
are you gonna do it?
Are you gonna do it?
And this was so so thrilling because we're sitting there, episode 2 of the premiere, and we have no idea what's about to happen, which is one of the great things about the show in general. Like, I'm 3 episodes in a row, I'm surprised about something big happening in each episode. Episode 1, Leia was introduced. Episode 2, the whole Anakin reveal at the end there, Grand Inquisitor stuff. Episode 3, the whole Vader thing. So it's like every episode I'm surprised, and she's tracking down Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan is tracking down Leia. We get the cool shot that we saw in the trailers of him going against the bounty hunters.
Yeah.
Not great shots, but they were just average bounty hunters, so it kind of makes sense. These are not like your Fennec's or Cad Bane's over here.
But the magic.
When
Leia's hanging from the wire and Obi-Wan's desperate because, like with Luke, he closed himself off from the Force.
Yeah.
Which is so beautiful. So he's just like, hold on, Leia. He's trying to figure out. But she's slipping and she falls, and he's just like, no.
And she gets Gwen Stacy.
No.
No.
But she's so adorable. She's like,
I know. Oh man,
my heart, the innocence. And he's just reaching out, like in like the last moment he catches her, and it's magic, and we all applaud because God damn it, he did it.
He did it. It was great. It was amazing. It was a great shot, great sequence. I like the editing there, where it's like cut between his hand, Obi-Wan struggling, Leia falling, and it's like really, really cool.
And then her realization and bewilderment, like, oh, you are a Jedi. Just the hope, hope.
So then Reva's late, but then they're running away again.
Yeah, they Kumal gives the direction of where to go.
Point,
like actually give them you'll meet somebody here to help you out.
Yeah, he gives them a direction to this cargo ship and like a place off world
because they're automated cargo ships, so no one will be able to find them. But Reva does track Obi-Wan down to the cargo hold of it, and she's walking around taunting, trying to get him out until she reveals, Lord Vader will be pleased. Obi-Wan does recognize that based on the episode, and she's like, you didn't know. He's alive, Obi-Wan.
Anakin Skywalker is
alive.
Cut to the back to tank. Oh my god.
Not yet. First we gotta break cannon. No, we won't. We gotta stab the Inquisitor, knock him out.
Stab the Inquisitor.
Yeah,
everyone's like, oh.
So Inquisitor is dead, but no, I'm kidding.
No, they would, because that would feel really weird if, like, at the end they were still like, special thanks, Dave Filoni.
Apparently, these moons or the species, whatever, has 2 stomachs. I was reading the comment section. Somebody's like, they have 2 stomachs. So
that's what I was reading too.
In his stomach, and there's an extra one. It's like, ha ha!
I'm still functional, bitch.
Very funny. In Naruto, there's this villain of this evil group, and he has 4 hearts. You need to kill every heart.
Oh my god!
He has like 4 hearts on his back. It's really gross.
Naruto is fucking insane, dude.
It's the best.
It's overload. It's so good.
But yeah,
they do end up escaping. You can't run, Obi-Wan. You can't escape him. We'll find you.
I will find him.
You think your son is safe?
Leia's just up there like.
Dang, they're still yelling, man.
Oh, but Leia's just like muffled in his ears. She's like, "Are you all right? Are you okay?" And he's just like, "Anakin." Oh my god! Credits. God, can you imagine they played episode 3? How the crowd would have fucking went into
Oh my god!
cardiac arrest.
If they showed episode 3, Jesus, the crowd would be going crazy.
But no,
I can imagine, man.
But before we talk about episode 3, just a quick wrap up of Friday when we
yeah, sure.
When we just like finished the panel and everybody went on stage introducing Osei Jackson. We did not see this man yet.
Oh, this is still Thursday.
Thursday, yes, yes. And then like they bring out the actress for young Leia, and she's just like so adorable and hugging the cast, and she's just like so, big pop, she's excited but nervous to be on stage.
Yeah, we saw Osei Jackson, who wasn't in any of the episodes yet, right. And then the girl from Game of Thrones, Adira,
right,
who was in episode 3. She turned out to be the Imperial, who's not an Imperial. Right. So good stuff.
Yeah, it was a lovely time. We all walk out. We got an Obi-Wan poster, which was awesome.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna hang that up soon.
Yes,
wow,
and then
it's glorious.
Good stuff. And then we retire for the evening. But yeah, let's discuss.
Where did we eat Thursday night? Did we eat any? What was that?
Did we eat food?
What did we eat?
Was that the night we went to the queer bar?
Was that Denny's? Or was that Friday?
Denny's was your first night here.
That was
your
night?
Survivor night. Wednesday.
Right.
That was Thursday too. Oh my god, it was that night. We went to IHOP late at night.
That
was all in one day.
Wild. Cause I think we were chill because we were like, what's the next day? Light and Magic.
Light and Magic,
which was pretty cool.
Be?
But yeah, we had fun. Anyway,
we had fun. Yeah, that's something. Carson more so than others. Yeah. Carson, tell us about the Light and Magic panel when we get to that. Okay?
It was really great.
This man was spinning.
Really passionate about his work, so you know.
Yeah, he was knocked out.
The poor man left his mic on mute answering a question.
Carson got that 3-day pass. How was it, buddy?
So did I, if you remember.
Yeah.
But
episode 3,
episode 3. Let's talk about that.
We're traveling. We're making a beautiful opening with Obi-Wan. Initially, he is asking again for Qui-Gon's help. Not getting anything, but through the tremor of the Force, we're getting the suit up of Vader. It's going, and with
it looks echoes, so painful, man.
It does. Like everything's drilling in, just like impaling, popping of the Matrix holes.
Ew, yeah.
It's not so, great. All while it's like screaming all of Anakin's hatred, just like I do not fear the dark side as you do. All that stuff.
Do we get any flashbacks in this one? There's no flashbacks here, just him getting dressed.
Yeah, just him getting dressed with the echoes of the audio of the film.
Okay.
But yeah, we are getting all the suits up, like putting the arms on, putting the oxygen plate in, all the way to like the helmet coming on, and I'm like, holy shit, it's fucking Hayden in makeup. Like
all the while, like there's like Eye of the Tiger in the background. No I'm kidding.
That's a weird choice. Rising up. But
yeah, I've heard complaints about this episode in terms of people not liking, or like, what is Hayden basically doing in this show? But I'm like, this is Hayden in the tank, or in the suit. This is Hayden. Like every time we see him in the suit, that's Hayden.
Yeah.
I mean, of course.
Other than if it gets to like a really intense stunt, then obviously.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
But Hayden did lightsaber training as well. He's doing stuff.
Yeah. Same thing for Obi-Wan. There's stunt doubles for Obi-Wan as well, guys.
Yeah.
So yeah, people were on Twitter.
Tom Holland had 2.
People on Twitter were like, "What's Hayden even doing in this show?" I'm like, "Are you guys serious? Are you fucking serious?
Come on now.
Like, come on. He's not just sitting in a chair."
Gymnast Tom Holland has 2 stunt doubles. Like, it's guys, come on.
Exactly.
But it's great seeing the suit up, and then Obi-Wan's just like, "He's coming, master." And then he walks out of the tank. He's fully suited, and I'm like, oh, we're here. And
it's so crazy. Jalen like elbowed me. We're like, Evan, we're getting new Vader since like 2016. It's been a while. Yeah. This new Vader Alliance as well. It's just really cool.
Yeah.
James Earl Jones.
James Earl Jones. Some people are thinking they did a James Earl Jones modification to Hayden's voice performance. But I don't know what the truth is. We'll see on the Disney gallery.
People are so nitpicky. It sounded like Vader to me. I don't know.
Yeah, I couldn't tell. I was like, that's James Earl Jones, and he sounds cleaner.
Maybe if I go back, people be like, it sounded a little bit lighter because it's earlier in the timeline. I'm like,
I did think James sounded a lot better here because like I did think he sounded a lot quieter in Rogue One. This sounded just because like it's the age in his voice by that time. Like even in Rebels, I can hear it. It still sounds nice, but
I was rewatching Vader's scene from Rebels. Man,
yeah,
good shit,
so good. But we have he's talking with Reva, catching up. Just like I understand why you're.
He's like eating breakfast, and Raven interrupts him while he's eating breakfast. Not cool. Not cool.
Yeah, oh shit! he spills cereal on his pants.
Oh. Where's my Vader sitcom? Come on!
What are you showing me? How many bullet points can we hit over our fucking catchphrase? But he has like great lines with
so
Reva.
Funny he said he's just sitting there in his little short ass black throne.
Hey, when he gets up, he's like, he didn't struggle.
I'm still getting used to this. No, but
10 years, still rusty. I just had a comic panel. If you saw, I got damaged. But no, there's some great lines where he's like, "I understand why you're doing this, and you know, if you deliver, the title of Grand Inquisitor will be yours. But if you fail, you will not live to regret it."
You're axed, buddy. And didn't
you're done.
Good shit. I love this kind of stuff where it's like it's pure dark side. Like you're fooling their personal interest. Mm-hmm. Obviously, Vader knows something about Reva that we don't. Apparently, like. She's a go-getter, for lack of a better word. She wants to get that higher position. Mm-hmm. But there's a ticking clock that she doesn't know about, him still being alive. They haven't really revealed that yet. But I'm very curious to see, does she just want to be Grand Inquisitor or something beyond that? What's her personal interest? That's what I'm excited to see moving forward.
It feels like it, especially like falling into favor of Vader.
Yeah. I mean, if you're favoring Vader, then you're set.
Yeah. But then we get back with Obi-Wan and Leia with a great little scene describing how the Force feels.
Oh, it's my favorite.
Yeah, this was Carson's favorite scene. Yeah,
it's beautiful. It's like what does it feel like? And it's like, you ever been afraid of the dark? How did it feel when you turned on the light? Safe.
In the added layer of irony that Obi-Wan hasn't tapped really into the Force, and he really is just projecting here in the sense of. Because he once knew what that feeling was, but he doesn't really have that right now, as very displayed in his very unbalanced fight.
That's a good point, but it's also, I look at it also as like he still has
genuine
that.
Though. It's definitely genuine. It's just like
it's genuine. This is like peak Obi-Wan.
It's just tragic in a way that like
exactly.
He's off his game,
Yeah, but it's such a peak Obi-Wan line. Like it's Obi-Wan line. I could hear him saying this to Luke in Episode 4. Like it's such a great,
or even a young Anakin, It's just like,
exactly.
Have you ever been afraid of the dark?
Anakin's like, no, nah, I'm good.
You see how I dress? I love the dark.
I lived on Tatooine. Dark, no.
Dust.
I think we're talking different dark right now.
I was afraid of sand. I hated sand. Everyone's like tragic. Oh, wow.
Anyway, we
get getting down real low, Andy.
Hulk. But
we get planet side.
Meeting up to the coordinates.
Good old Arizona.
Obi-Wan is just ever the pessimist. Leia the optimist. Just like, maybe they're running late. No one's coming, Leia.
Yeah, he's yelling at her. I'm
he's
like, damn.
pissed.
Oh,
he literally waited like 30 seconds. He was like,
not all people are good, Leia.
He just wants to go back home. Like he
wants to be done with this shit.
But then this motherfucker, I'm like, I didn't realize it was supposed to be Anakin the first time. Like I was like,
oh, the dude, in the distance. I was seeing it. I was like, not like this.
I just thought, oh, what? my MCU rot brain was like, oh my God.
What?
John Krasinski?
How? Shut up. No, you weren't.
No, but it's really cool that this is the weird shit I wanted out of this show.
Me too.
Haunting.
And we'll get to the fight. I wanted more of this before we fucking met. Like, I'm like, Jesus, like.
Oh, I think we will.
I think we will too. Now that you made a good point in chat the other day. Now that they've like, okay, we're back on the path ish. Like they've reestablished connection. I think we're gonna get a lot.
Still not in the chat, by the way. Somebody put me in.
Oh, the spoiler chat. That's because nothing's happened. They all talked about it
We all
like 3
catch
in the
it
morning.
instantly.
Oh, damn.
They all talk about it at 3 in the morning, and then I join afterwards, and I'm like,
It's crickets. So I like the episode, guys. We already talked about it. Yeah.
We've shared like 20 tweets already.
And then, like, yeah.
then
yeah,
Leia's
I did
like, let's
it.
get a ride.
It was such a goofy shot of Anakin. It was like him. I guess agitated in a weird. It looked kind of like
because it's daylight.
Yeah, it's daylight. He's sitting there in a weird like. It reminded me of one of those things where it's like somebody's taking step photos, but you don't want to see what they're wearing, so they have to wear like a really big like jacket.
He's
hide their
standing like
costume.
he did on Mustafar.
Yeah, that's what I got from it. It was very much like how he last remembers Anakin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
But it was good. I like it.
it was just like it was pretty chilling to just see like Hayden back and like Jedi Rose being the menacing face, even just from a distance, and then disappearing in Obi-Wan's eyes. It's good stuff. I love it.
I don't think we're gonna get it, but my theory, my want for the final battle was like I want a flashback coinciding with the present where you see Anakin and Obi-Wan training with their friends, mixed in with Anakin or mixed in with Vader fighting
With the
Kenobi.
current fight, yeah.
Every clash cut.
Every clash cuts. Yeah, exactly.
Don't.
That's what I want.
I'm writing that down. Come on, Blazer. Thank you.
That's what you get in like some good anime fight. I'm thinking of like countless Naruto fights that have done that same thing where it's like, oh no,
like piano music, like slightly desaturated.
Yeah.
God.
I'll show you a Naruto video after this is over about.
Hire us.
It's really good. I'm like, hire me. It's like that's a genius thing where it's like Obi-Wan, Anakin, train because every Jedi and their master train. It happens all the time.
We're getting a Tales of the Jedi episode.
Exactly.
But
yeah. Anyways,
Freck is coming. Little
good old Freck,
mole man, who I liked at first. Damn it. He's like,
yeah,
I actually heard that way. Hop in.
I fell for it, even though there's like a big ass Empire sign. I was like, oh, this guy doesn't know shit. But then he goes over there and is like, hey, don't trust these guys. But yeah,
found some strays. Thought you might want to
the whole stormtrooper thing was really funny too.
It was great. I'm like, is this Taika Waititi? Like, it was like some Taika level comedy where it's like, so where you guys heading?
Oh, it's a long story.
And then we
it's
back
a long
ourselves,
ride. No, it's not.
And then we back ourselves into this moment where he like it's really about Padme, and I'm like, God fucking damn it.
I want to bring it down because like at first he's like Leia's like, are you even sure there's a Jedi here? He's like, they know what they're doing, Leia. Like he thought he was slick. What? You called her Leia, and at first I was like, are they looking for Leia? And it's like, I thought you said her name was Luma. And then he's like, that was her mother's name. I get confused, and I'm like, that stormtrooper feels like shit now.
Fuck, I didn't mean it like that, dude. I'm sorry. Oh shit.
But yeah, and then he starts like looking at Leia, seeing
the way he looks at her too was so somber, sadness,
heartfelt, and it was like, and like just what he said. I'm like, that was true. Mm-hmm. And now I'm in pain. It's so good.
He mentioned it to her like an episode ago, like episode 2, I think, where he was like, "Oh, yeah, you remind me of somebody I knew."
Satine? No, I think this like reassures it's Padme.
Yeah.
And it hurts. And then the stormtroopers leave, and they have another great moment where they're like, you knew her, my real mother, or at least my real parents, my real father, even.
Yeah. Like...
And then she asks, like, "Are you my real father?" And he says, I wish I could say I was, but no, I'm not.
Oh, man.
And then he starts talking about, like, his family that he remembers, like his mother's shawl, his father's hands.
Great
I remember a baby. A baby? Yeah, I think I had a brother. I don't remember him, though. I wish I did. And I'm like, oh.
Great. This is some great Star Wars right there. And I'm like,
it's so good.
Then you start thinking about the system with the Jedi again. You're like, fuck.
Yeah.
Like,
fuck the Jedi. The image of Kylo Ren and the rise of Kylo Ren.
The rise of Kylo.
Fuck the Jedi. But yeah.
But yeah, I'm like, spin off. Obi-Wan, find your brother.
But
no, it was a great.
Did you actually get a? You know what the best actually kind of thing it does about this is in Dooku Jedi Lost, where they talk about, is it Dooku's sister?
Yeah.
Where they
part
stay
of the story, yeah.
they stay in communication, and it becomes this whole conflict with Yoda, I think, actually, of like,
yeah, it's like you shouldn't be talking with your family. He's maintaining that connection that he shouldn't have.
It keeps his like family ties with, like, because isn't he a count? Like, he has riches.
Exactly. Yeah, he's part of the count. He has a big important role in his family if he was to stay. But I mean, we say fuck the Jedi, but during this time, a lot of families like willingly. Like we even saw the spoilers for Tale of the Jedi, the whole Ahsoka stuff. It's like I assume they willingly gave Ahsoka to the Jedi as well. But it is still very weird and still very that Star Wars for you. It even happened in the High Republic. It's like
culty.
Yeah, even the High Republic Jedi are getting sent off at a young age. But yeah, so then they get off the ship. Freck spills the beans, and then they go.
Found some strays.
Found some strays.
Oh, you might want to take a look.
Great. I'm always Freck. Jen was like, "That's Seth Rogen." I'm like, "I don't think so."
No, someone who was it? Zach Braff maybe in the credits. Somebody.
Oh, okay. It's definitely a comedian we knew. Jalen said Seth Rogen. I'm like, I don't think it's Seth, but
not quite.
Zach Braff would make sense.
Oh, that would have made him laugh. Found some strays.
Doesn't Obi-Wan punch the shit out of him after this too?
He does.
No, he grabs him as like a hostage.
Grabs his fucking snout and just like.
But then he shoots the stormtrooper up top, who falls on the tower and then falls and gets sliced.
Oh my god,
that was awesome.
Brutal.
Like, brutal. Just like damn, like, and then I realized someone gifted it, and I'm like, holy fuck! It like, you can watch his body separate laser through laser. I'm like, oh god.
That was so cool.
In shot, no cuts.
No cuts.
No Kryptonian. No lanterns. But then we get rescued by the Imperial lady from Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
What a cool character, man. This is one of my favorite highlights of the episode.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed.
Really surprising
that,
again.
especially that she joined the Empire and like sort of backtracked herself and like realized what was wrong.
Yeah.
Some of like and that's one of my favorite parts of like Lost Stars too, for example, of like one of the main characters like realizing, hey, we need to like not doing this, and then the other person like rising in the ranks and then doubling down on it, and of course that's all intermixed with the love story, and so it's like opposite. Read Lost Stars.
Read Lost Stars. But I like this concept in general. Usually in the Star Wars timeline, again, I'm reading Star Wars comics, and there's some people after the Death Star exploded where it's like, screw Leia. We really got to go in hardcore on the Empire now. But also, as we see here, even though this is prior to the Death Star, you can see people even prior to the Death Star are like, I don't like the way the Empire is treating these planets. Just the way that the Empire was treating this planet that we saw. When they first got to this planet, there were like checkpoints everywhere. Obi-Wan said, this place used to be so lush and so vibrant and full of people, but now it's like barren, and the Empire just cripples everything it touches.
And then also what I really liked is it shows Obi-Wan that even you can still make a difference.
Yes.
In the most dire position of like, and you can risk everything and contribute to a greater good. It's not just about being in defense mode, and there's still a fight to be won, even if it's the smaller battles of creating that support network, as we see with her. And there's still a good fight to fight. It may not be on the front lines of the Clone Wars, because that's very much like that's also that perspective too of like the Jedi were always like in the middle of the conflict, or you know what I mean, but now it's like different. It's like we gotta help every day and do everyday things to contribute, and so like he's really seeing that again for the first time of like, oh, like this is what the fight looks like, even though the fight is lost, quote unquote.
Yeah, there's a great Rebels quote. Maybe it's from Yoda, or maybe from Obi-Wan and Twin Sons, but it's like, it's not like how to win, but it's like it's how we fight. It's how we go about fighting that can make the difference.
Right, and you can already see the camaraderie like in that room with the signatures and with Quinlan and
exactly
him lighting up when he sees Quinlan was here. Like I was like, oh my heart, dude.
Me
like,
too.
Recognize, like he like realizes that there's like still someone out there that like I don't even need him to show up in the show, but it's just like it was.
It is
very
nice.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's very interesting because we know Obi-Wan becomes like I don't want to say peak, but he becomes a true version of himself, a grown version of himself.
Yes.
But in Rebels, where he's back on the desert, staying put, where he's not like actively helping people out,
but he's living again.
But he's living again, which is very
change.
important. He's living again. He's making a difference. He helped out Ezra. He's making a difference. And in this show specifically, which is like 5 years prior to Rebels,
we're bridging that gap.
I think he's more
10 years
is the thing.
Yeah, it's like he's at peace there. And he's still right here. He's still struggling. He's still very much not at peace. He's
and even
really,
that
he's turning away help.
Alex was saying in his video of kind of that speculation of the line under Quinlan's name. I think is Obi-Wan say it out loud.
I don't.
It says something about you're only something about closing your eyes, but it's about like being at peace. And it gave Obi-Wan kind of a reminder of like something to strive towards, of being at peace. And presumably when he becomes that, he'll be able to talk to Qui-Gon, and down the road, like when he can figure it out, he could truly be a Jedi again, that sort of thing. So I thought that line, I think it's in a different language or whatever. I can't remember if he says it in the dialogue, but it was a cool little thing.
Wasn't there a High Republic symbol?
Yeah, for light and for life or something.
Yeah,
that was really cool. I'm like, High Republic Live. There we go.
We did it, Joe.
We did it. But yeah, really cool.
And the droid. Oh my god, I love this droid.
Oh yeah, what's the droid called?
BQ. I don't know. But he
well, it's a loader or whatever. And then,
he's like he has no.
He's like
voice.
a jailbreak loader. He's got the fucking club behind him, and I'm like, oh fuck.
A jailbreak.
He's on our side. I'm like, oh fuck.
I guess K2 is technically a jailbreak too.
Yeah.
Wow, what a term.
One of my favorite shots in Rogue One is when the sliding door opens and he's like fucking in the back of one of his other droids' heads with his
with his like long ass turner.
Tentacle fucking
screwdriver.
I love K2.
Hell yeah, man. We're in the path. We're looking to start making our way, and then Obi-Wan starts getting something's not right here.
Somebody's coming.
And initially I'm like looking out and I'm like, oh, Inquisitors are here. I'm so fucking face value in the first few seconds every time. I'm just like, yeah, all right, yeah, that would be annoying. Yeah. Fuck.
He turns that corner.
Shocked,
I'm like,
I'm
wow.
shocked.
He's so quiet, and I was surprised. I was like, now that is fascinating. How are we gonna get out of this one? And then pretty quickly he's like, make sure she gets to Alderaan. I'm like, no way, not now.
Yeah, like this. Where is this going? Because I'm like, maybe they're just gonna escape, and then it'll be like Rebels. We're like, I will see you again. But no, he.
I'll get you next time.
I'll get you next time. You and your kid.
And your little senator too.
But Vader comes in, man, and we get some of the darkest Vader moments we've ever seen.
He altered draw Obi-Wan out. Yeah, he pulls someone like out of their window. Their kid runs out and he knocks him down, snaps their neck. He drags a woman like 40 feet on the ground.
Just for no reason.
The reason is
and Obi-Wan just watching through the slint in the window is just painful.
He realized in that moment like he has to like at least just like take him away from the city, draw him away. And so he starts like luring, and for a second I thought he was gonna like not like a real taunt, but just like to get Vader's attention, like call Anakin and make him turn. But no, he just.
And I think there will be something like when Obi-Wan has more confidence. I think there's gonna be more introspective Anakin stuff than there is now, because obviously this is full-fledged.
Yeah.
And now thinking about like, at first I'm like, whoa, this is way too early. Like I wanted stuff like through the Force of them kind of like reckoning with each other or something like that.
Yeah.
But I'm fine with this happening, I guess. And then I think it's gonna pay off better later.
Yeah, I was actually really impressed with the execution of it all. Breaking it down, like when they like he's walking the desert and then Vader's in the foreground, and I'm like, oh, it's the poster we got. He ignites the saber, and Obi-Wan's just like looking very fearful, and he just dips. He runs. He doesn't want to have this confrontation.
So funny. I'm like, oh, okay, because he's thinking like, oh, it's time. Like he's gonna.
And even Vader's just like, Okay. Turn this off.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like I don't know, like I like this. I think I just don't like the location of the fight. Like, and obviously it's very much meant to be overwhelming, and so it's not like this is not a dance. This is not like a typical lightsaber battle where there's like meaningful dialogue exchanges in between. Like, it's very much like
it's not a memorable location by any means.
No, because it's just a nightmare location of
it's not
fucking.
And I think like most lightsaber fights are like this is gonna be a tipping point in the history of like this part of the movie. Here it's like, it's not that moment yet. So
that's why I was kind of jarred by it at first. It was like watching it and the way it's shot. Because I'm like, it's not meant to be like a grandiose spectacle right now.
Sure.
Vader's not even trying. Obi-Wan,
and it was jarring to me because I'm like, okay, it's not on the movie screen. I'm watching Vader and Obi-Wan. Like, it's just so weird. Like at home, like on Disney. I'm like, whoa.
It's let's keep breaking it down, because initially Obi-Wan's like walking through the dark, and then he gets scared by Vader when he's like, that's when he hide, and that's when he ignites his slaver. But he ignites out of fear. He's like, and my whole thought process when I saw that scene, because like I have a lightsaber that I bought, and like when you put new batteries in it is bright as fuck. If you go outside in the dark, you can't see shit but your saber. So I'm like, Obi-Wan's blind right now. This was a mistake.
That's what I'm thinking the same thing. I'm like, he's gonna be so caught off guard if he keeps having the lightsaber up like this, like he's scared of the dark or something.
Yeah,
going back to the beginning of the episode.
I did like see like he was like really on the defense, just like, oh god. And Vader does come out. They have like a couple clash. Initially, it's not like a very like strong clash. Like, it's just like at first, like Obi-Wan gets like knocked back. He gets pushed down.
Yeah, Vader's just toying with them.
Vader's toying with
the whole time.
There's one moment in the Darth Vader comics, the 2017 run, where he turns off his respirator, his breathing thing to sneak up on Tarkin in one of the comic runs. So I thought he kind of did that during this episode. Where I
think he does that to Luke too in Empire, like, because he's just like
he did,
hallway.
Like, speaking of Empire, this kind of was like Luke in Empire Strikes Back. Not the initial encounter, but when he's like looking for Vader and Vader just like throwing things at him. It's very unorthodox, and that's what this kind of reminds me of too.
And I think like I will say, like, my only issue I had with the episode is just like the way the fighting was shot. I don't really like the jarring handheld motion. I can understand why they went with it. It's kind of like to get in the mindset of Obi-Wan, like, you know, he's like unbalanced, he's not with it all right now. But it's just like when I was watching them fight and like the hand movement of the camera was going, I was like, I'm watching a fan film. This is how every fan film I see looks.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
because every time we've ever seen Vader like fight or do his thing, we have a very like stylized, stagnant camera. It's not picked up and handheld.
They just follow Vader. Yeah.
So that's the only issue I had when I viewed Vader. I had I'm watching SC-38 again. God damn it. But also knowing that like this isn't the main fight, like I'm fine with it. But then we get to the point. A lot of great lines. Vader had like the years have made you weak, knocking him down.
Every Vader line was fire, straight fire.
It really was. And then he knocks over. He knocks over. Oh yeah, a great line. Like, what has happened to you? I am what you made me.
Oh, yes.
It hurts, and it's true, and they both know it. But they get to the point where the crate gets knocked down, and the rocks fall off. I didn't know what these rocks were, so and then he holds Obi-Wan up, and I'm thinking like, are you gonna pelt him with rocks?
Right,
I mean,
that would hurt. Gonna like, pelt him with rocks or drop him on like spikes or whatever.
But he's just holding him, and then he slowly dips his saber, and it's
so cool.
And I'm like, you see my reaction. I'm like,
and I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, he's gonna taunt Obi-Wan with the fire. He's gonna drag him closer to it, but then it's gonna get stopped. Right, somebody's gonna interfere before it happens. But it doesn't. It kept going.
And mostly he's like burning his shoulder and he's in pain. And he's like, now you will suffer. Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan.
Oh, it's so good. And he's dragging, and then he force pushes him back to knock out the fire, because I think he even says like your suffering has only just begun. Your pain has only just begun, because he wants to drag this out, because he's been living in this constant pain for 10 years.
Yeah.
He wants to drag it out. And even like when the point when like he gets saved, smart save, by the way, because like like a normal blast hit after your first one, like Vader's gonna fuck you up. So good on you for blowing up the fucking generator.
And hauling ass.
And even like when Obi-Wan is getting picked up, Vader is still like kind of seeing, but I think he's cool with it because like I think he wants the chase, he wants the hunt, he wants to have the satisfaction. And the whole fucking fight too, like leading up to like chasing Obi-Wan around, it's like motherfucker's like Jason, dude. He's like he walks everywhere, but he catches up every time.
Just pounding at Kenobi.
One hand.
And Kenobi's like good at deflection, but he can't strike back. I don't think he even scratched Vader. It was just
no.
He's just deflecting. He's just in full defense mode, and it was terrifying.
Oh, it's bad. But then the droid brings him to a safe place. Obi-Wan needs a fucking back to fast. This is bad. Like his whole shoulder is just deformed.
Yeah.
But man, it's wild. Meanwhile, I was just about to ask. It was like, where's Leia? And then we're back with Leia in the cave. Run through the tunnel.
Yeah, and I forgot that lady got out like with a separate entrance somehow. It didn't go all the way back.
Was that a separate entrance? I was like, how did she get in front of her?
Because she didn't go all the way back through. Because
I mean, why would you have a secret tunnel system with just one way?
Yeah, but either way, she lapped Leia and gets caught up with her, and it's a very cool dark scene.
Leia's going to meet the person, and then she doesn't know who Reva is really. But then we see Reva's encroaching, and she has killed the person they were supposed to meet. So another cog in the machine right now.
So moving forward,
it looks like we now have to get Leia again while Vader is on our heels.
Yeah.
That's impossible, right? You're like, man, what do they do? Because Leia's under control by Reva.
Mm-hmm.
Obi-Wan's out of the count though, so he's not going to be in the quickest rush to go find Leia. He needs to get help first. And how does Leia get out of Reva's grasp without Obi-Wan's help?
I think it's probably going to come to a culmination. I mean, the fight may be at the Inquisitor headquarters, the fortress, and I think it's probably going to come down to the thing like where we're going to get past the Reva and the Inquisitors, and we're going to have Leia safe. We're going to have a way for them to get out. Vader's going to be there. If we don't stop Vader, they're not getting out, so Obi-Wan has to stay behind while Leia gets back home.
But then, like, Obi-Wan are you saying Obi-Wan has to go distract Vader?
Yeah.
Who handles Reva?
Probably Obi-Wan. I don't know.
Is Obi-Wan going 2-on-1 here? Like,
it's a video game, baby.
I'm so curious to see
Final
how
boss.
Leia gets away here. This is very much the half of the story where it's like the villains are in the lead right now, and I'm curious to see how Obi-Wan can get out of this. He's gonna need some allies.
Introducing Cal Kestis.
He's gonna need some allies. But then we get the tweet from O.C. Jackson Jr. like, people are gonna be pissed when they find out who I am. Like, is he playing a bad guy? Is he playing a good guy? He made it sound like he's playing the bad guy, but
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
I'm excited to see how this is gonna play out, though.
Me too. We're halfway through the season already.
Maybe we have just had new surviving Jedi that's not dead. Fucking.
They bring Kira in.
Ben
we all lose our
Safdie.
minds.
Kira Quinlan comes in and helps out. That'd be dope. Quinlan versus Reva.
Ventress.
I think Obi-Wan's gonna have some allies. We have a Game of Thrones woman. She's gonna bring in some people, hopefully, and they'll figure their way out. But yeah, we have some more celebration stuff to talk about. There's a lot more.
Friday. Light and Magic. It was good.
Friday was Light and Magic. It was really good. I really liked it.
And Attack of the Clones
coming out?
20th.
Light and Magic coming out this fall.
Fall, yeah.
I forget when though.
Out this fall.
Everything is. Yeah.
Clones panel was fun.
Attack of the Clones was phenomenal.
Better than this one.
Better than the 20th anniversary Phantom Menace. I think what they did better here, like the Phantom Menace one, the best part about that was seeing Ahmed Best come on stage and another story from Anthony Daniels, which is always great. But there wasn't anything that made it pop. There wasn't Liam,
the teaser
one. They did the teaser. We saw the teaser for Attack of the Clones too, which is really cool.
I instantly recognize it, where it's just like the shots with the Vader breath. It's great.
Yeah. And then, but Daniel Logan, and Tamora Morrison had the best chemistry of all celebrations.
Oh yeah,
it was peak comedy, hilarious. Those two are like father and son. They talked about that. They went on tons of story about their lives in New Zealand. How Tamora was like the best guy in New Zealand.
I cannot fucking believe, Carson, you missed it. I cannot fucking believe they shouted like a bantha And then Ashley Eckstein was hosting the panel. She's like, huh? And then
Like, what?
the crowd,
And he's
the
like-
crowd was reinforcing it. And then I think Matthew Wood was like, well, you gotta do it now. And then he's like,
Like
he did the fucking thing.
It was so good. It was
Oh,
so
it was
good.
so funny.
This is
Everybody
such a
cheered.
fun panel. Like so many great stories. Ashley barely uttered a sentence as Tamora just keeps going on and on about what they did in Attack of the Clones and how. Oh, one of my favorite Daniel Logan stories was how during the scene where Boba first meets Obi-Wan, he wants to be. The expression is like to be scared or to be frightened
he
of
told him to
Obi-Wan.
fart. Like
He
someone
said, like,
farted or
yeah.
something.
He was like,
like
when I
disgusted.
open the doors, just look disgusted, like I just had this awful fart. So that's the scene you get where he's just like, ugh. But it's amazing. It was a great story. Oh, also some very funny stories about them during the asteroid chase scene. How it was supposed to look like Clint Eastwood or whatever. Just very fun. Great panel. One of my favorites.
There's the one like really funny part of the story where he was like, I wanted to try this thing, and I thought it would be good, but I trusted George. So like I flew back home, and then they needed me to fly back from New Zealand to Europe, but I think it was like a 28-hour flight, just to get this one shot. And then I did it, and they're like, "All right, we're good." And he's like, "Well, can I at least do it again? I flew all the way out here."
Yeah, it's like, no. Welcome to acting.
Oh man.
But it was just a really funny panel. Also, I forgot about it, but I think Thursday they did the High Republic panel. Thursday or Friday. They did the High Republic panel for Phase 2, which was fantastic. They released a lot of new images, new Jedi, new locations for Phase 2.
Porter Angle comic.
Yeah, Porter Angle comic was coming out in January, I think. No. When is it coming out? Well,
I can't remember. I think November.
Porter Angle comic coming out. There's a Battle of Jeddah audiobook coming out
from
January 20. That's for sure January 2023. I had to save there.
I went to this panel.
Phase 2. Yes, you did, Nathan. You should get started on that.
As I
we
was
got
like
our first
listening.
look at the Nameless.
Yeah.
Our second look, if you
Second
read
look.
one of the comics, Carson,
Right.
that you haven't read yet.
Oh.
Got you.
I will say, like, while
Yeah.
watching the panel, I was like, all right, I'll start it.
Oh, yeah, Jalen said the same thing. He was like, I might start reading these stuff. I'm like, it's good.
Yeah, you
It's
do.
good.
How you guys
Read
feel
audiobook.
going back instead of forward?
I was upset because the phase, the Fallen Star especially leaves. I'm
Yeah,
like,
you want that. What's next? Okay.
what's next? What's next?
Everybody
Especially-
said 150 back.
Did you read Eye of the Storm #2, Carson?
Yeah.
Yeah. Even the way that ends, I'm like, Markion, whoa, you're pulling out all the front. How are they going to get in the frontier now?
Marky on
Yeah.
Rome or like Marky on Whoa.
Markion. I hated that. But
Markion.
Phase 2 is like the age of exploration. They talked about that going 150 years back. Something happened on Dalna that they're going to have to explain. That's part of the mission.
Yeah. My
the
favorite
disaster.
thing about the panel was them talking about this era as like
Yeah.
even more archaic in terms of like there's not like galaxy-wide communication. Like you can't just like send a message. Like you can't just send a message to fucking like, and all these people like building the infrastructure to like make like a global galaxy happen.
That's wild.
It's so interesting as a concept to me.
Yeah, there's a quote here where it says like tech is not good without infrastructure. Communication in this era is like the Pony Express, but with droids. It said
Which is
they've broken the
crazy.
entire galactic communication system, says Kevin Scott. So yeah, communication system is going to be very different. There's Pathfinder teams. There's new species, new droids to help them out, all in the Dark Horse comics. But yeah, this fall we got Convergence. There's a cover with that with this woman with 2 lightsabers. Really cool. Quest for the Hidden City coming out. Dark Horse comic, The Nameless Terror. Oh my gosh, so many stuff. The High Republic Marvel comics coming out with this old lady in the background. They make a deal with. It shouldn't be trusted. So many cool stuff. Cataclysms coming out. Quest for Planet X. Path of Vengeance. Battle of Jeddah. So many fucking novels and comics. The Blade. Oh my god.
The Blade, man. Charles Soule.
The
Path of Deceit. Convergence. Quest for the Hidden City. There's so many stuff here.
Tis
And
a
then-
hidden city.
And then the Art of the High Republic book coming out in October as well from Christine Baver. So excited for that. But in general, this looks like this fall from October onwards going to be packed every month, every week with High Republic stuff in. On top of that, we're getting Andor, Tales of the Jedi, Bad Batch. This fall, Star Wars is like overloading with publishing and Star Wars and animated and live action.
Wow.
Speaking of Tales of the Jedi, let's talk about
Let's
that.
talk about
next, 'cause
that.
that was Saturday. We already talked about Mando, I guess, sort of.
I cried. Oh, sure did, bro. Oh man,
This was so unexpected to me. Which
so unexpected.
I mean, we didn't know what it was like at all.
everyone's
No.
like, stupid anthologies, fucking anthologies.
I know, right?
Goddamn.
I was
Shorts.
I was like, I don't like anthologies. We'll see how this goes. But then I was so wrong in the best way possible.
And then they were
So
like,
sending
Dooku,
around-
bitch.
Sending around 2 characters, 3
I'm sold.
Ahsoka episodes, 3 Dooku episodes, presumably coalescing to some sort of mini event.
Yeah.
In there.
Again,
And Qui-Gon as well.
well, Qui-Gon voiced
Qui-Gon.
by Liam Neeson when he's older, but also his younger
Liam
son.
Neeson's
His son
when he's younger.
young, when Qui-Gon's younger.
When Qui-Gon's younger, yeah.
And how cool this is, Dave Filoni's just positioned Lucasfilm to be like, yeah, I was writing like. I love how he referenced them as like tone poems of like
Mhm.
George always talked about like getting this feeling out, or he was going on in this whole thing, and he's like writing these on an airplane. And it was almost like stories to like keep him fresh, and keep him like engaged, and like what questions does he have about these characters of like what can I riff about right now to like pass the time, and then that just manifested into this animated thing. And I love that he's bringing some of his like his Clone Wars and just animated team in general back because he trusts them so much.
Yeah.
So there's a bunch of people that behind the scenes that he says are kind of getting to shine here, of course, because the animation just looks fucking gorgeous.
It's gorgeous. It's the same style as Clone Wars.
Yeah. And of course we get into this episode in the
They showed us the first episode. It was about 15 minutes.
Yeah. Spoilers for people
called-
who don't know, but yeah.
Was it called Life and Death?
Well, I think it was. Yeah.
Life and Death. Yeah.
And it like they start and you see Ahsoka's species, and in a minute I started to click and I was like, oh my god, this is the
birth
of Ahsoka.
Wow.
And that's when I instantly started crying because I was like, this is because God, we love Ahsoka so much, and it's like this pivotal, beautiful moment. And I was just so my god, I was moved.
There's
dude.
going to be no stone left unturned in Ahsoka's life. with Filoni.
And Filoni will make sure of it.
From-
Who better?
Literally from life to death, we're getting everything from Ahsoka. She's still alive during Rise of Skywalker, apparently. So it's like,
Yeah, he's like, is she?
is she? So it's
Stop
crazy.
it, Dave.
But yeah, they live like in this village in the woods. You get some cool pine trees because Dave loves pine trees. He talked about that, but it was really cool. We get Ahsoka's birth, and they used every second of this short.
His ritual to go do this
meaningful way.
thing.
Yeah,
The hunt, like kind of like
it was very intense.
And afterwards, he said like he gets inspiration from Ghibli, and it felt very Ghibli.
oh yeah, it felt Princess
Princess
Mononoke.
Where it's
sort
very
of.
deliberate, not a ton of action or anything, but every scene is so like filled with life.
Yeah.
Like every.
And
setting.
I love that he talked about that first of her standing up to the tiger, of like the first moment of like she's not afraid, and is she using the Force? Well, it's like maybe it's the same thing. Like I felt like that was really resonant.
Great quote. Yeah.
Really cool. I remember the tiger came out, and I heard Evan was like, "Was this Tarzan?"
It felt like Tarzan.
And that's all it was, basically like a saber-tooth tiger, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Is this Tarzan?" But
Where the mom dies?
Yeah, subvert the expectation. She did not.
Thank God.
Oh, also
Spoilers
Kevin
for some.
Kiner,
Sorry.
Kevin Kiner scored all these, so
He's back!
they're fucking awesome. And that the score when she's coming back through the smoke
Sonic.
onto the on top of the tiger, man, that shit was beautiful.
So cool. So cool.
God damn, like the fucking mic drop, like final line where like the shaman, I guess, if you will, of the village is being like,
She is
Jedi.
Yeah, Jedi.
Ahsoka is Jedi. I'm like,
Ah!
she is no Jedi. But yeah.
I am a Jedi.
It's all
You
fucking
die.
gorgeous. Even when I was like rewatching Siege at the fucking,
Oh, how was that, by the way? You haven't talked about that.
oh, it's gorgeous. Like, but
Was it a patch crowd?
it was lovely. Sean was all the way on the other end.
Were you sitting by yourself?
That was
My favorite is that
everyone
Nathan
bailed.
ran into people that thought that this was airing for the first time, and they had
there
no
were
idea.
there was a father and son sitting behind me who They didn't know what this was. They really did
Are you
not.
serious? That's too funny.
It was actually their first time, and they were like, "I think this is the first time like anybody's seeing this." And I'm like, "This has been on Disney Plus for 2 years." I didn't say that.
Has it been? Oh yeah, this came out like what, January?
And then it ended,
May
and they're like,
2020.
"That's it."
2020.
No. It came to a close, and then like they were going to show like the next episode. They were like, "I'm not sure how many they're showing," and that's when I interjected. I was like, "They're showing 4."
Yeah,
That's
Evan, it was
4.
2020. Don't you remember?
Not last year. What was last year then?
Because we saw
Bad
it
Batch.
2019, 2020 we got this, and
2021 was Bad Batch, guys.
yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm so old. All right.
What happened last year? I don't even know. I guess 2021 was Bad Batch and
Bad Batch and High Republic, everything.
Yeah. Mando didn't come out last. Yeah, 2020 was Clone Wars and Mando season 2.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay.
But
time. Anyways, yeah, I'm glad you had a good time. It looked kind of fun.
yeah. But anyway, I was saying like there was a great line in the Siege of Mandalore where Yoda asks like when she said like she's not back yet, like not as a Jedi, and she's like, no, not yet. Like just so much layers to her Jedi journey, man. It's lovely.
Yeah. But yeah, in the Tales of the Jedi trailer, we see a progression of Dooku where he's becoming more disillusioned with the Jedi. That's kind of like his, I don't want to say a shtick, but we know from Dooku as a Jedi, it's like he doesn't trust it, and that's kind of what we kind of knew already. But we're going to be diving into that, into the psychology of why he becomes less and less with the Jedi. We see that a lot from the childhood sense in Dooku Jedi Lost, but I think Filoni's going to be diving into more of like what's going on when he's older yet still in the Order. Because in Dooku Jedi Lost, we didn't get that. We kind of just got him like growing up in the Jedi Order. What kind of made him turn away from the Jedi, like his last conversations with Yoda and that kind of stuff. But this one, we're seeing him with Mace Windu on a mission, with Qui-Gon on a mission. These untold stories that are going to be very influential for Dooku and why he turned. And Filoni did say, like, this Ahsoka one was a very happy, heartwarming story, but there is going to be some dark episodes, and I think those dark episodes are going to be the Dooku episodes for sure. Most
likely. I'm sure, because there's another Ahsoka one with Anakin during the Clone Wars for like training.
Yeah, again.
Yeah, and I think that's just going to be like a more like heartfelt bonding episode, more than anything, just to make me fucking sad and miss them again.
But in the trailer and in the screenshots that were shown to everybody online, we get this new character with a cool looking mask and an Inquisitor blade and the burning village behind him. Could that be the same village that we saw in the first episode with the Ahsoka's family?
I thought so.
Maybe. It looks like it. But I don't know, because people keep saying they didn't see Anakin, but I swear I saw Anakin in the trailer.
I swear I did. I swear
the trailer's not out. The trailer's not out, right?
It's not out, but I'm not going crazy.
I gotta find the leak. But yeah, I didn't notice Anakin. And my theory, because when we first saw like the snapshot of that before the trailer, my theory was that episode would take place with Ahsoka after the Siege of Mandalore, after Order 66, probably trying to go back to her village maybe to hide out, but then gets burned down, and then to your point of like something Inquisitor.
That would make sense, and people are like, that's where you should get your white blade, which is very different from the Ahsoka novel.
The
novel is she helps out some random family in like this industrial city. And then like there's people living in caves, and then the Inquisitor comes. And
that poor book, is it still canon?
It's so far not canon anymore, but there's bits and pieces where it's like you could juggle the canon of it via the perspective of it all. Because I think Filoni commented with the Ahsoka versus Maul part, is like, well, we never saw what happened afterwards, or we never saw what happened before. So either way, I thought, my theory was that it was going to be Dooku, because like if you're combining the Dooku story with the Ahsoka story, you could have Dooku fighting Ahsoka for the first time. I don't know if they fought for the first time in the Clone Wars movie.
Did they fight? I think Ahsoka just ran off.
Did they fight at all in that movie?
Anakin and Dooku fought.
Did Anakin first meet Dooku in the Clone Wars movie?
No, in the Attack of the Clones they met.
Oh, duh. You're right.
Clone Wars is after.
Yeah, and then the Clone Wars movie they first met.
No, I'm taking him now.
Yeah.
No, Anakin, no.
Oh, wow. Yeah. But yeah, because he turns to her and he does say like, "Who might you be?" when he's talking to Ahsoka, the guy in the mask.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so it's somebody new. I just thought it'd be Dooku, but we don't know. The trailer's not out. Which, of all the trailers not to show, come on, it's coming out this fall.
This fall, come on.
So we're getting a trailer either later this month or next month at the very least, or latest. So we're getting a trailer soon for it. I think they're going to wait for the celebration stuff to die down. But yeah, so that was a very
talk
cool
about
panel. Very cool panel.
Very
Bad
cool
Batch.
panel.
Which
Bad
one?
Batch.
Oh yeah.
Sunday
Our final
panel.
big panel.
I love
final
the
panel.
view.
Listen,
we had a
we did our
horrible view.
best.
I mean, I'm happy that we were. I'm happy.
How did that happen though? What went wrong?
It was fucking packed in there, dude. I don't
What?
know what
We
the
get-
hell.
Every day we've learned a lesson that we all apply.
We got there so early. We were like, this is the only line. We thought, right?
For
We thought this
Bad
was
Batch.
the only line. Because we got there like what, at 9 or something? We got there early.
Yeah.
And
Not early enough. There's people lining up at 6, I guess.
This was the only line, and then they were letting people in, trickling them slowly. We went in like at 10:55.
Unless they
started at 11.
Unless they made a new rule on Sunday that said you can go directly to the queue in the celebration stage thing. Because for people who won the lottery, you could go right instead of go left to building E, and you could just go into that queue right away.
Yeah.
So maybe they just let people in there. That's the only reason I can think.
It was
that,
a mess. There was no way that we should have been. I was like, we're guaranteed some good seats here. No, we had to sit in the very far left, so it was very hard to see
It
like,
was
the board.
full,
It was completely
it was
full.
fucking packed. In
which
there.
I'm happy for Bad Batch.
Me too. And they're like, thank you, Dave Filoni, for making this happen, which is great.
And I tried to watch that. I remember we were all sitting and like Jalen, me, like we were all just like.
You're all
Dude, how awesome was this panel though? Like they got all the behind the scenes stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Just like hearing the story process. I love hearing that stuff. And then the live table read performance between
Which was
Five
awesome.
Bradley Bakers. That was
Yeah, D. Bradley Baker was going between Echo, Crosshair, Hunter, Wrecker, all of them.
And I could just see the scene, dude, because they had the. And then I'm like, oh, I remember watching.
It's one of the best episodes, episode 7,
Yeah.
when it's like Crosshair has him on the
Crosshair's
ropes.
going suicidal, trying to like fucking turn on the engine and
Like,
kill
there's no
everybody.
way he's gonna turn on the engine, right? It's like, unless it's like engine noises start rising up. It's
I
like,
was
so cool.
stunned that he could fluently move from voice to voice like that.
Yeah, dude, it's insane.
D. Bradley Baker's the best.
It's so good.
He's also in Young Justice too this season. But
And it was wild because like they also showed us a scene from the first episode.
Yes, the crabs.
Yeah. The crowd.
And again, the visuals are incredible during the show, and it looks even more
Omega
polished
just like
here.
going off with her bow, just.
She has
yeah.
everybody has new outfits. I assume like a couple months later, a year later.
Dude,
I
and
don't know.
Yeah, it seems like there's gonna be a time jump, and then also, it's so weird because I'm like, I got home and I'm like waited, like watched the trailer. It's a different. We saw a different trailer,
Mhm.
A different,
a longer, more
out-
grandiose trailer,
different
and
order trailer.
yeah, there's still mostly everything in the trailer that dropped, but it's very interesting. But man, that trailer knocked that place down, dude. I was,
Oh, yeah.
I was standing up going wild of all the things that were happening.
You guys want to see it again? Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo!
I was tempted to get up and just go around and get a better
I know,
view,
right?
but it
I'm like,
was
would
too
security let me?
late. Yeah, I was like, fuck it. But yeah, we see the biggest pop was of course Gungi,
Gungi, yeah.
the small Wookiee Padawan from the Clone Wars arc, the Padawan arc in the Clone Wars.
That's so good.
He lit up his green lightsaber. People went crazy, and this was
Take
after
all
the
the
quote
allies
where
we can get.
yeah, it was after the quote where we need all the allies we can get, and it's just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, not Commander Cody. It's Gunji.
Yeah, Commander Cody's talking to Crosshair's like, I don't know if we're doing the right thing, and Crosshair's
Yeah,
like,
dude.
we just gotta follow orders. So Crosshair's more in it than Cody. It looks like.
Dude, and now
Which is crazy.
you know
Rex
what's
pop up?
insane is like
I don't know.
now they're like making a decision even more to get into the fight, and like quite literally that is capitalized on here by Omega literally coming face to face with Palpatine. Like that, you could not have predicted that.
This man has seen every main antagonist.
Ezra and Palpatine didn't see that happening, but then
I'm
you
like,
see
damn, what the fuck
Palpatine
are they doing on Coruscant? Like,
Yeah, why are they back up? Because like at the end of season 1, there's like the mountain, and they asked one of the Kaminoans, whatever.
Kaminoans.
Kaminoans, thank you. I was missing a letter somewhere. Kaminoans to help out on the mountain, Mount Tantus, I think, right? And
Right, for the cloning,
kind of thing. We don't know for sure.
We really don't get any of that in the trailer because
we don't get any of that in the trailer. Like, I get they're really hiding that plot line, but presumably there's some cloning going on in that mountain. And I think that's gonna be a major part of the second season,
like an updated clone program that's very specialized or something. Yeah, because there's no mass production of clones anymore. I mean, Kamino fell.
Kamino's gone. Yeah. So we'll see, but yeah, we see shots of the Emperor. Also, in this trailer, not the official one, there was a shot of the not crate dragon, but the Zillo Beast.
Zillo Beast, yeah.
Zillo Beast.
There's a Zillo Beast shot.
Yeah, dude, from
I know it was Zillo Beast.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just like, there was a Zillo Beast?
Star Wars Explained said that, and I was like, I didn't see exactly. I think there was a shot of its mouth opening.
I remember it. Yeah, it's a smaller one, though. It's like
it's a smaller one. Okay, yeah.
So
yeah, there's a Zillo Beast, Gunji's back, Commander Cody, and Crosshair Dynamic is going to be really cool to see. Some more of those special clones from the latter half of Season 1, where they were on that mountain, where they had to rescue Hunter.
Omega has homework, which is bullshit.
And she's getting better with that bow. The action looks incredible as always.
Oh, instantly. She's like,
action, scenery looks beautiful. I mean, this series is so good. There was some Bad Batch tweet, and I was looking through the comments. People were like, was Season 1 really that good? It was kind of hit and miss. I'm like, people need to rewatch Season 1, because I think there were some episodes that
needs to watch Season 1.
There were some episodes where it's like, oh, this could have been better, but overall,
Bad Batch accounting.
Overall, this was a very stellar Season 1, up there with Rebels, in my opinion, in terms of most consistent Season 1. I think I would go like Rebels, Bad Batch, Resistance, then Clone Wars, because Resistance also had some up and down episodes, but by the end of Season 1, Resistance was flawless. But Bad Batch, I'm excited. I don't know if Season 2 is going to be its last season. Hopefully it goes on for some more.
Yeah.
They managed to mine out
being a 3-season arc.
They managed to get 7 seasons out of the Clone Wars, which was only about 3 years, I think, or something.
Flashback to when we were like, why are we getting a Bad Batch? I was done at that.
I love this arc for us.
Yeah.
I'm just watching this trailer again. It's so good.
It's so good.
I want to bring up the hilarity that, like, I was so salty we didn't get into the Mando Plus Day panel that I started tweeting lies.
Oh yeah.
You fool.
I'm evil.
Baka.
Yeah, you're like love interest for Din.
Oh, I got him right here.
Yeah, please read one.
I said, like, initially, I was like, John and Dave say the idea of bringing Plo Koon back is not impossible. A romance is possible for Din in the future. A quote from Dave saying, "I like happy endings after all the bad stuff."
That's a quote. It's a joke, but that should be real. We should get a romance for Din.
I got so many quote tweets that were like, "Why lie, Dave?" I was like, "Oh no."
We want Din to have a romance.
I was just, and this is all while standing in line with Carson to get coffee. I was like,
yeah, he was just being a menace.
I was
trying to get coffee.
I was like, John says Peyton Reed is a very close associate on Season 3. You don't deliver Luke Skywalker and just walk away.
That's the best one. That's good.
Fucking unhinged. Unhinged.
Will we see Din ride the Mythosaur in Season 3? Not yet, says Pedro. Dave is side-eyeing him.
God damn it.
And then I sprinkled in like some truth that was actually coming out. Like, Rick Famuyiwa is back. Like, hell yeah.
And right after that, it was like announced that he's executive producer.
Yeah.
Good for him. He needs a fucking movie, dude.
Are we gonna see any more familiar faces in Season 3? And I said any faces game. Old, young, blue, anyone. I'm a menace.
Oh, speaking of Mando, besides Rick getting a executive producer credit, we didn't talk about Ahsoka.
Right.
Yes, we didn't. Let's
crazy. At the end of the Mando Plus panel on Saturday morning, they announced Ahsoka is coming out next year. They've only been filming 3 weeks, but they showed a teaser trailer that isn't online. But from what we saw,
sizzle. Not sizzle. Yeah. I mean, it's footage.
From what we saw and from what's been talked about, there's a scene of small scenes of Ahsoka and his ship. Ahsoka looking at the ground, like at this Jedi symbols on the ground kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But the big shot, Ahsoka and Hera. Yeah, there's a scene where they're walking.
Hera from the back.
Maybe not be the ghost, but it's just some ship where Hera is walking away from the camera, and we see her from the back.
Mhm.
And it's definitely Ahsoka. You see like the whatever tendrils and everything.
Yeah.
But then the biggest pop was when you see the mural from the end of Rebels season 4.
Same
In
art.
live action.
It's the photo of the squad. Sabine, Ezra, Zeb, Kanan, Hera, the whole gang from
Chopper,
except in live action, and it pans out, and you see Sabine from the back with short hair, hold the hand to the panel or to the mural. At least that's what the
the
people
actress
say.
that plays Sabine came out.
Yeah, Natasha Liu something.
Good job.
Natasha. Her name is
Good
Natasha.
job.
Great casting. She looks great. I'm still, of course, I'm always gonna say I'm still bummed that this is live action, that they're doing this whole Rebel sequel in live action.
Yeah.
And then of course there's all that Rosario Dawson baggage, but regardless,
Anyway.
I'm not super excited for this series, but that stuff did get me like, man, now I'm like,
I am very intrigued.
I'm intrigued by it. Yeah, I'm intrigued by it. I don't know if I'm ever going to be like thrilled to see a Ahsoka series, but I'm happy for Dave.
Too long didn't read happy for you though, and or sorry. No, I've accepted it.
Could have been an email.
I've accepted, and at this point, I'm excited. Just to see what the story is and these iterations, because I mean, I think the actors and actresses are doing a phenomenal job. So,
and Hayden's gonna be in the show. Very interested to see how they use Anakin.
Right.
Hayden's in there, Ezra's in there, Hera's in there, Sabine's in there, Chopper's in there. Fuck.
I'm in there. Are there any other Squidwards I should know about?
Right. Probably
What?
Thrawn.
Most likely guaranteed
Most likely
Thrawn.
Thrawn.
Yeah. Wouldn't make sense. Oh, but there was
Old, young, blue.
There was casting for an Imperial that isn't Thrawn, but he's a higher rank Imperial.
Official.
Yeah, something like that. I forget the actor's name, but yeah, there's gonna be like an antagonist that's not Thrawn, because Thrawn. It's hard for Thrawn to be an antagonist if he's like hidden somewhere in the outer regions.
Right.
So
I don't know.
we need a current danger. I think that's the guy that we're gonna get. But either way, I'm excited to see Ahsoka and Sabine's arcs, especially. See how they bounce off each other in live action.
I'm excited to see Hera too. Like the fight.
Me too.
Really, like in Rebels, it's like, yes, we did it, or we are doing it. Like the fight is going, but also the bittersweetness, but also we're moving forward. But then for Hera, I always say this every time we bring up it, it's like the Empire never died, and like for Hera to see that is just like so interesting to me.
Yeah.
Like, damn, she's been fighting for so long.
And it's cool to hear that Filoni had this idea of live action Ahsoka even prior to Mando. Because from a cynic like myself, I was always like, maybe he's doing this live action thing because the success of Mando propelled him to be like, yeah, I really want to do Ahsoka in live action now. Let's do the Rebel stuff in live action and not do animation. But I think he's always had
story
this.
First, and
he's always had the story of Ahsoka, and this story for him has always just been in live action. And he talked about the beauty of like animation is just as good as live action, which is great to hear.
Yeah, he made that clear several times, actually.
I love to hear that. He was like, this wouldn't be possible without all the voice actors and the crew that I've established and had along the way in animation, which was awesome.
He had some great more stuff to say when he went. He came out at the end of the Siege screening.
Oh, cool!
And we had like a good half hour with Dave and a couple of the other higher animators for Lucasfilm directors, and he was going on about just talk about like these last 4 episodes. Like, of course, it's the best ones we've made. Like, because now we know what we're doing. And just like him, just like talk about the appreciation, like the learning curve of it all, and just like how you carry that with you moving forward, whether that is in like a animation or live action or whatever medium. Is just like it's beautiful, it's compassionate, and I think at every panel he's had one moment where he's gotten slightly choked up, and I noticed, and I was like, this man. He's this king.
He's doing a lot, guys. Like,
yeah.
In the Bad Batch panel, they were like, this wouldn't be possible without Filoni. Filoni helped establish the Bad Batch series. He's instrumental in
idea that kind of just filtered all the way down.
Exactly, yeah. It's like this is a George idea, and it filtered down to what we have now with a whole new crew. And I love the Bad Batch writers and the just hearing them talk during that panel. They're very smart. They know what they're doing with the series. Even like one of the head writers was helping with the narration parts during that live table read, which is really cool.
Yeah.
But I hope that team, because I think that team also helped out on Resistance as well. And I want them to continue doing other animated projects in the future.
I think they helped on Tales too, or something.
Like if this is the team that we're going to get for your animation moving forward, thumbs up. But yeah, Dave Filoni, he has like the New Republic story instrumental there with Favreau. Mm-hmm. He's doing Tales of the Jedi, spearheading that. Bad Batch was his baby as well. So Dave Filoni, just a busy guy all around, and I'm so happy to see like the respect he's gotten over the years. Great guy. But overall, yeah, celebration, man. It was great seeing you guys. It was awesome.
I'm sad.
Awesome. It was a great time.
It still feels like a whirlment, man. Like,
it does.
Yeah.
I was exhausted on
today. I'm just like, geez.
Like
that was last week. Like, what do you mean?
I felt like such a bummer because I know, Evan, you left like midday of the last day. So like while we were like in between crowds, we were like, all right, well, it was great seeing it. It was so quick. Meanwhile, like the next day, me and Carson were flying out. We get to the airport and we give our final hug goodbye, and then another one, and then we walk our separate ways, and then like
as the rom-com text, like, hey man, what's your gate number?
I realized at a point because like I'm already through and it's a small airport. I'm like, is he still here? I can catch him. One last look. I just wanted to take another look.
You walk away, you turn back around.
I was already boarding. I'm like, damn.
I was like walking to all of them too. I was like, where's that curly hair? Fuck, where's he? No, but
that's amazing.
But like prior to security, when we said our goodbye, like we were walking away, and like I started to walk, and I started to feel it, and I was like, and then I look back and I see him like he's in the distance, and I was like, fuck.
Oh man.
Man. Not like this. IHOP. Continental breakfast. Good continental breakfast we had.
Good breakfast.
We really were saved by that. Everyone talks shit about our hotel and like, could I come eat breakfast at your hotel?
Do you have breakfast? Right? Fuck no, you
don't. We had some good
hot chocolate every day.
Good OJ. It was okay. But
I got more better with it.
Eggs, sausage, or eggs and ham.
Potatoes.
Potatoes.
My God.
Potatoes every day.
Good shit. It was a great experience.
Ham.
Definitely my favorite celebration so far.
I wanna stay back at that hotel.
Just in terms of experience, I think if I'm nitpicking the way they ran it, I still think they should have released more stuff to the public.
Yeah.
I think going forward, the celebration is not bad. I know we pay money to go there. I know people pay money to go to the panels, to the lottery systems and everything, but as somebody who's actually there, I don't care that you release it after I watch it. I don't care. Like they keep saying it's like, put your phones away because it's only for people in the crowd. And people are like, yeah, but we're watching it.
Yeah, we want to rewatch
it. What if I didn't make it? What if I was 5 minutes late?
We're having that experience with the crowd. We get that special experience.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter that it's going to be shown 5-10 minutes, an hour later.
I'm here to share it with fans.
It's like I go to if I'm going to see Game 7, seeing Steph Curry, I'm at that experience. But people watching that TV, like they get a similar experience. Like it doesn't matter. It's like a sporting event.
Like back when we were at watching the live stream for the 9 panel, and like we know we're getting the trailer. We know the public's getting it. It doesn't detract from anything. This is great.
Yeah. Exactly. I think
if we were at the panel, like it still would have been matched energy. It's just a good time.
For sure. And I think they really need to understand that moving forward, especially they announced next year they're going to London.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can make it to London. I hope I can. It's going to be
in
the middle of the school year. I'm at the call off work again.
That's fun.
But I know it is. But if I can't, I want to be able to experience it in a satisfying way. And I don't think it was fully satisfying for people that weren't there. The idea, especially the idea for people that were at the celebration, to start streaming at 12:30 after the morning panels. Why?
Weird.
It's stupid.
They didn't do that any other time.
They didn't do that any other time. Just stream it from the very beginning. and then cut away if there's like a footage you don't want people to see, like for Mando. You could have that,
which they did last year.
They did last year. You can have that entire Mando panel streamed. Just cut away to dancing monkeys during the trailer or something. I don't know.
I think Noah was saying like it cut over to like a merch promotion or something,
which is fine. But like, let us enjoy it in the moment, in the time. Don't live tweet it. That's stupid. Never do that again. Live tweeting a panel. Odd, bad. It's like, oh, they said
was this it CinemaCon?
Yeah, right. It's like, this is bad. I don't like that at all. No live tweeting. What other nitpicks would I say? Just the way it's run. They could explain. I had no idea that there was ever going to be a standby line for a celebration stage. I didn't know that was a thing until the day of. When Josh is like, oh yeah, you get to go to a certain hall to do a standby line for if you didn't get into the lottery for a celebration stage. Because everywhere online it was like, if you can't get into celebration, at least you can stand in line for the streaming stages where you can do the lottery or whatever.
Now, the infamous Mando Plus line we capped.
Yeah, people kept saying line's capped, and it wasn't.
We went to every level. We went to like the first level, we went to all the way to the third level, tried the second level, and they're like, no. And we remember specifically how this was bullshit because there was a lady dressed as like mocap Jar Jar, and she was in line, and we were at that same point as her, maybe give or take like 2 or 3 people, but we were right there, and we were standing around, and the lady was standing there like, "There's no more lining up, guys, line's capped." And then we were like, oh, maybe we could find like a gap going in the front. And then we do, and then like you guys are all like chilling on the side, and then my fucking dumbass is just like every minute taking one step over, trying to like phase in with the line. Josh meets up with me, and then he stands in front of me talking, and I'm like, cool, looks like he's kind of part of the line. I'm with him now, flawless. And then the lady, who Jalen was so shocked by, it was just she unloaded like, "Who are you? Were you in this line?
What are you doing here?"
And then Josh was like, he was. And she was like, where? And I'm like, Josh, I wasn't in line. Oh, God. So, like, and then the person comes over and just like, hey, guys, there's nobody in this line. I'm like, ah, damn it. And then they start letting people in, and we see where it was actually capped, and the rest of these people are going to get in. And we see the lady, the Jar Jar lady, and like 20 plus more people. We could have made it.
And then we got in the line finally. Yeah. And we get in line finally, and it was like literally we were in line. We were so close. There was like 3 or 4 people in front of us. And they're like, absolutely full now. We're good. We're like, damn, so close again.
And then they're like, hey, you want an Andor poster? Here's an Andor poster. You all get an Andor poster. I have 5 Andor posters.
So, do you have the Bad Batch posters too?
Yes, I do. I have you and Jalen's and mine. And Sean came to our room and he was like, Nathan, can I have one of those? I dropped mine. And I was like, nope, on reserve.
Yay!
Yeah,
sweet.
That's right.
Because I left you guys and I was standing in that line, and Jalen's like, our flight leaves like at 1:50. I'm like, I'll give it 15 more minutes. But that line was packed. So I waited in line, then I just left. I was like, fuck it.
It was the final day. I finally made my way to like remember where it was. And I go in. And then I go to line up and I give my ticket for the Bad Batch poster. And then we're walking along and they're like giving out like all the remainders there. So they're like Star Wars Hunters. Here's another Andor. Would you like another Bad Batch? Here you go. She hands me like 2 more. And I'm like, all right, sweet.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
But yeah, overall, those were nitpicks. I think in general, there's always something they can adjust for the way they run it. But especially the biggest issue was this. What they didn't show and the way they stream stuff. It's got to be better. But overall, experience-wise, it was great meeting people I haven't met, like
so fun.
Trey, Preston, Josh, Edgar. It was great seeing Sean, Carson, Nathan again. And the weather just overall was really good. There was never like it wasn't snowing, chilling like it was in Chicago.
Mostly everything was within walking distance.
But yeah, hopefully I can go to London. I've never been to London. I've never been out of the country before.
We need to get Evan on stage to play categories.
Please, I want to play categories.
Sith, he's not a Sith. Get off that. What was the closest one we got? Well, someone said dark side users, and we were like,
yeah. And then they like dropped the ball at the third one. I'm like, come on, how do you lose?
Get to Kylo. Get to Kylo.
Wow. Yeah. Good times.
Oh, and the biggest bullshit. Who here likes the prequels? Woo! Woo! Who likes the
here
originals?
likes the
Woo! Who likes the Skywalker saga? 1 through 9.
Saga? What?
Say the sequel.
Sequel
What?
trilogy. What?
Why are you scared?
Man, what a time! It was great. Great time.
You ever see someone you just know like they probably don't like The Last Jedi?
Yeah, they mentioned Last Jedi too. I was
They
like,
mentioned Last Jedi. Like, we can have a conversation about The Last Jedi. And blah, blah,
why,
blah.
guys?
Like,
Why? It's
Why are you
2022.
egging it on?
Yeah, right. It was
Stop
so
it.
weird.
You
Stop
were
it.
hired by the
You're
company.
hired.
Stop it. You could say any other movie. You said Attack of the Clones.
You could have said the infamously The Phantom Menace.
Yeah, or
You
the
could have
Phantom Menace,
said the Clone
exactly.
Wars animated movie with Stinky the Hutt. Like,
Everyone agrees it's odd. Come on.
Yeah. Good times. Good times.
It was the best of times. It was the lottery of times. With that being said, guys, another celebration comes to a close. I believe we will all be in London in my heart. And physically, you must be there, Evan. But where can they
Must
find
be
you in the
there.
meantime?
Are you like legit going, Nathan?
Yeah,
You know that for sure now?
yeah. I will go to every celebration to the end of my days.
I said that, but then it went overseas. Like, you fuckers.
I'll get a passport.
And it's like Easter weekend. I'm like, what are you doing?
I'm
It
not
is really- it
religious.
really is a
I
bad
don't
time.
celebrate.
I don't either, but like I go to my mom's house to eat. I can eat.
Eat at the London IHOP.
fish and
Yes.
chips, mate. Fish and chips.
Wow.
Let's go.
That's
Didn't
London.
get any seafood this trip. I wanted to go to Public Company.
Yeah. Anyways, you guys can find me on Twitter at HarrisEV9. Today was Animation Saturday. I caught up on Young Justice, the penultimate episode of Young Justice Phantoms. # Renew Young Justice, always. We watched Spy Family, which is great today, and Kaguya-sama, which is great. And we watched the penultimate episode of Stranger Things today. So only got one more episode of that. Might watch it tonight, might watch it tomorrow. We'll see if Jalen's not busy. But otherwise, I'm reading Star Wars comics, reading manga, doing the usual.
Carson, where can they find you?
Over on Twitter at the Film Carson. Yeah, I've just been watching. Just been like putting out posters today and getting reacclimated to regular life, I suppose.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've just been catching up on My Hero. I think I'm almost on.
Good.
I'm at the school festival right now, so we're
Oh,
doing some fun times with that. When a nefarious villain.
controversial arc in terms of people don't like it, but I think it's underrated.
I think it's fun. I
think
like it
it's
so
fun.
far.
I like it too.
But yeah, and really enjoying that, and yeah, just chilling. Probably gonna catch up on maybe some High Republic comics tonight because I just bought the whole arc of the mystery one. So I'm gonna catch that and just get more sleep because I'm still tired. Like how? Like
God.
Monday killed me. I came back and I was like,
Yeah, because
"Oh."
you had to go to work right away.
I had like a headache. No, I went to work on Tuesday, which
on Tuesday. Yeah.
but yeah, I had a headache all Monday. I'm like, is this jet lag?
Is this lost?
COVID? What is it?
Follow @_Time Blazer trying to premiere a show. Fun stuff. This is the cast. Look at that. Most of it.
Woo!
God, I have a job and I'm sad I'm back.
Same.
But
Not
I'm,
the summer at least.
it's been a week since we had our photo op with Kelly Marie Tran as of tomorrow. And she's great. Oh, we all of 20 seconds we talked to that woman ish, not even talked.
Not even talked.
Did you guys say anything to her?
Carson went in as quick as he
yeah.
could, and I
could talk so fast.
before I could mumble anything, the guy was like, "All right, get the fuck out."
Yeah.
This guy was shooting us up.
I said thank you for representing Star Wars the way you do, and then
Yay.
I was like, get the fuck out of here.
But Kelly's so sweet. She's like, "Oh, thank you guys for
And
coming."
she's
Living,
like, yeah, thank you.
living embodiment of a damn cinnamon roll. She's so cute.
Oh man, that's so cool.
You guys amazing.
I attempted my infamous pocket cam move. It's nothing. It's bad. It was so funny because like I didn't know like how it was in my pocket. So like we were walking out and I just hear it fell on the floor, and camera lens up and like so like you see the footage where it's just looking up at lights. It's just the funniest shit ever.
That's too funny.
Yeah, that's how I met Kelly Marie Tran. I hope she does more celebrations because I'll probably like photo op her anytime. She's great. And others soon, I'd hope. More money. Need more money. Just please.
The most monies.
But yeah, good stuff. We'll be back someday. Every week we're doing Hyperspace Hype for Kenobi, obviously, so you can catch us there.
My cup of tea.
Miss Marvel starts in the next week, so my cup of tea will be doing that. I'll probably also be discussing The Boys since I'm 3 episodes in on that now for the new season.
I'll be caught up by Wednesday. By next time
maybe I'll watch season 2.
It's a good one. I think it's only 8 episodes.
Can we even talk about that with Carson not being being so far behind? But yeah,
he can pull what I do for High Republic and just
yeah.
But yeah, that being said, guys, if you enjoyed our podcast, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe already. Come back for episode number 69. That being said, hope you guys have a good day. May the force be with you always. Ring the bell.
Yay!